We're live.
Hey.
We are back. We are live. Oh, thank God it's Friday. What a week. It's been a
Yeah.
long week.
Switch this
Yeah.
light.
We've got the light
I
on. We've still
think.
got the natural light. And it's been a beautiful day here today. So it's been
Yeah.
quite nice. So how is everybody? What's everybody been up to? We are back as promised on the Friday, 6 p.m. As close, well, a little bit later. So apologies we left. Well, I didn't say we left early, but we did want to go and catch Bake Off the Professionals on Tuesday, which has restarted. What did you think?
I really enjoyed it. You were asking me. So basically,
Yeah, tell us about our conversation.
Stacey Solomon is now. I don't know what's happened because they haven't said what's happened with Tom. I don't know his last name.
Oh yeah, so for those of you that may or may not be familiar with Bake Off is obviously the famous British baking show. They have got two I call spin-offs, but spin-off shows. You've got Bake Off Junior and you've got Bake Off the Professional, where, as the title suggests, you've got professional chefs competing for the prize.
And Bake Off and Celebrity Bake
Oh
Off
yeah,
as
of
well.
course. I suppose the Stand Up to Cancer one as well. Yeah, that's true. Those are the other spin-offs. Now, in previous shows, it was up and I forget the comedian's name, and I know what you mean. It's Tom something.
It's Tom something.
And I want to say Tom Arnold, but it's not Tom Arnold.
No.
It's Tom somebody. But I will. Actually, let me Google it in a minute. You carry on.
Yeah, and so normally it's Liam, and I really like Liam. I do feel that Liam, because I feel like in Liam's season they let him go far too soon. I thought he should have been up with the finalists. I don't know if he would have won it, but he should definitely have been one of the finalists, I think. But
Tom Felton is his name.
Right, Tom Felton. And so but he has done very well, and he is now presenting Bake Off the Professionals, which was with Tom Felton. Now it did used to be creme de when it was on BBC One.
Yeah, I didn't know
it used to
BBC
be
had it.
creme de la creme.
Creme de la menthe.
Yeah, and they don't have the previous series for us to watch.
No.
So we can't watch the creme de la creme because I would have liked to have watched those.
So anyway, so on Bake Off the Professionals, as Kelly was saying, they have now changed the host. Now we had a little discussion, didn't we? What did you think? Now you quite liked Stacey Solomon, but I wasn't too sure. I thought she's a nice lady, but I do think it should be either a comedian or someone connected with baking. It's got to be one of the two. She's neither. She came. Just do me top one.
Yeah.
She did the X Factor all those years ago. She's a singer.
Yeah, but she's now singer turned presenter, so she presents a lot of things. I don't know if I never liked Melon Sue.
No.
When they did Bake Off, I didn't think they weren't funny to me. They weren't like funny. I've never thought they were funny, to be quite honest.
Do you know what, actually? So when it went from BBC, I don't know how we got onto this straight away, but when it went from BBC to Channel 4, a lot of people thought it would bomb, especially as Paul Hollywood was the only one that went with the show. Now, when it went over to that show as well, obviously they had Mel and Sue wouldn't go, then Mary Berry wouldn't go, and then obviously they took Pruli, and I think at the time was Sandy Toksvig and Noel Fielding.
Yeah, and I like Sandy Toksvig, and I like Noel Fielding. I think Noel Fielding's very funny. I don't really think, for me, Sandy Toksvig isn't funny. But I like her.
She's a good presenter. But then I suppose that's the argument, isn't it? Sandy Toksvig's not really a comedian. So she's more of a...
But she does do a lot of like... What's the one where it's like Question Time, but it's full of comedians?
Oh, she does QI, and then she does...
Yeah, and she does the other one.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember what it's called. I know what you mean.
But it's the political programme, but with all the comedians.
Yes.
So she does host a few comedic programmes, but I don't find her very funny. I do find that northern lady with the glasses, I find her very funny.
Sarah McMillan?
Yes. I find her very funny.
Well, actual fact, she would have made a better presenter.
She would have made it very good. Yeah.
She would have. So I think a comedian should have done it, and
Sarah Millican.
Anyway, guys, that was just our thoughts on it, but we enjoyed it.
I'm not going to tell you too much about it because I don't want there to be any spoilers. We're just talking about the presenters at the moment. But I do like Liam, but he again is not a comedian, and I think he needs a comedian to bounce off of. And I think that Sarah Millican would have been.
I think so.
I think she would have been a good choice as a comedian. And failing that, then what's the other guy that I said with the blonde hair and all the teeth?
Oh yeah, Rob Beckett.
Rob Beckett. And I think Rob Beckett could have done it, or Sarah Millican. I think those would have been the two good people, I think, to take over from Tom Felton.
Anyway, that's our little segment, I say little review. We didn't actually review it, but that's our little penny's worth on Bake Off the Professionals. The other thing I was going to say, actually, without ruining it, I was surprised at the standard of the chefs. Now, when I did that, I won't reveal if I thought standard as in good or standard as in bad. You will find out when you watch it.
And that's all we'll say on that.
There we are. So that is Bake Off the Professionals. So what else have you been up to this week?
So
I say you because I know, but
yeah. So yesterday, my cousin messaged me, and we were having a bit of a chat. And she goes, "Oh, why don't you?" She has a little boy, who's 1.5, I think. And she's like, "Oh, why? What are you doing today?" I said, "I don't really have any plans. I need to edit some videos and stuff." She goes, "Why don't you come with me to the Science Museum?" I was like, "All right, cool." So she drove here, and then we got the train up to the Science Museum. It's the closest tube station is South Kensington. So if you're ever looking to go, that's the nearest tube station.
Just be warned though, South Kensington at the moment is not stopping in Piccadilly line. Don't know why I mentioned that, but that's just now.
Yeah, the Piccadilly line was supposed to start operating as of the spring, and as far as I'm concerned, we are in spring. We're actually heading into summer, and for some reason, the Piccadilly line is still not stopping at South Kensington. However, Circle and District lines are going to South Kensington. So, and right by there, you've got several museums. You've got the Victorian Albert Museum, and you've also got Natural History Museum. I think there's another one, but I can't remember what the other one is. Hey, Eve.
Hi, Evelyn.
And so, yeah, so if you're looking to go down that way, there are several museums that you can go to. You also need to, from what I noticed with the natural, because originally, Stephanie, who's my cousin, originally wanted to go to the Natural History Museum. But when she went to go online to have a look at tickets, there was no booking slot. So basically, the museums now, they're doing slot. This is not for all museums. I can only tell you this is for the Natural History Museum and the Science Museum. So you have slots when you can go into the museum. And so she booked a 1:15 slot, and then she booked a film at 3:00, which was the Antarctic, narrated by Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, it sounds good.
Yeah, it was.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. It was. The Science Museum is definitely, as I say in the video, I'm going to edit it and see whether I'm going to put it up or not, because the thing was, we only got to do the downstairs. Having a sort of like a toddler, he was, to try and take him around. There's 3 floors from what I could see, and there wasn't, on the ground floor, there wasn't a lot of interactive things for a toddler to do. There were so many schools there, like so many
With
schools.
that, I can imagine, because it is a educational thing.
Yeah.
So you said there wasn't many interactive things, which surprises me, actually.
On the first floor,
yeah,
on the ground floor.
I was going to say, that's where I imagine it to be, because obviously that's where, if you can't get up the stairs,
yeah,
and you want to entice people in, the ground floor is where you put most of it.
Yeah, and also what I found, because we so my cousin had brought a trike stroller for the little one.
Oh, sorry, Ray said hi both. I've started my birthday weekend today. Oh, because I know because it's your birthday on Sunday. Hello. Had a deposit in my bank of my dad and collected a whole bunch of presents and cards ready for Sunday. Hope you're both 11 years.
Thank you.
We're so glad. I'm so glad that you've got all that ready as well.
Oh, I'm glad you're starting your birthday weekend today. Why not?
Exactly.
Make a weekend of it.
I always get told off when I ask for a birthday weekend.
Oh, please. It turns from a weekend to a week.
Drag it out. Trust me, Ray, drag it out. You deserve it. You deserve a birthday week. Make it a birthday week.
His birthday cards are still on the windowsill, and we're the 27th of May.
Well, I think I made it a birthday fortnight, and I shall make it a birthday month.
Fortnight, yes.
I shall make it a birthday month. The May is the birthday to be. I always think I love having my birthday in May. I don't know why.
Oh, good. So we'll have a November birthday month, will we?
You can have a November birthday month. Literally by birthday month, it means I just get to keep my cards up for a bit longer. Nothing.
Oh, look at him backtracking now,
true.
backpedaling in case I make some demands. You're right. I am going to make some demands.
So there we are. So a birthday month, but it's lovely having the thing a month, and I hope for you the weather does last because it's beautiful here. I don't know how it is in Birmingham, but it's really nice here in London.
So yeah, there wasn't very many interactive things on the ground floor for the little one to do. They did have this sort of like it was almost like a tube, but it wasn't. It was like a more of a curve. I couldn't film in there because there was all children in there.
Yeah,
so
I can make that.
It wouldn't be a good idea for me to start filming where all the children
Mind you, it's good. You could actually film over their heads, but yeah, you don't want to get their faces in.
Yeah, and they probably would have. I'm sure somebody would have said something to me. So I didn't. So we went in there and we took the little one in, and he was able to sort of like look around at things and all that. Of course, other children get excited. They don't understand. They want to hog this or they want to hog that. So he's very small, and so he was trying to go and look at things and touch things and all of that. And yeah, there was just school kids there, so they were a lot older than him. So there was a couple of little toddlers in there. So there was one baby that was a lot smaller than him, bless her, and she was wobbling around trying to walk. But then the rest was school kids. So you're talking about, I don't know, 7 and 8, sort of like in their school uniform still. And there's this like interactive pond, like a stone pond with all little fishes in it. And if you jump on it, or if you it makes noises and it ripples. But of course he wouldn't understand, being 1.5, that if you jump on it, it'll make noise or it ripples and things like that. But there's lots of little interesting things. So if you have children now, when you go to book the tickets, you book the ticket. There are walk-ups, so you can actually do walk-ups. But if you book the tickets online, they just ask for donation basically. And there's a £5 donation, there's a £10 donation, and then there's just free. So if you can't afford to pay for a donation, but you want to go, you can go for free. They also have there now, because obviously when you used to go to things, you just put your money in the thing. So they would have like a big slot, and you could just put like change or pounds or whatever in this slot as your donation. But they don't have that now. Now it's all card machine. So you tap your card and things like that. But I did feel that £5 I felt was quite a lot of money to ask for a donation.
Well, normally, now that's interesting, because normally with a donation, it's flat. Donation is what you want to donate. I don't see many donations where they say we want £5.
Well, that was the option. Option was £5 or £10.
Wow.
So those were the options. I don't know if you can adjust it to make less of a donation, but that's pretty much, and don't get me wrong, for a couple that is working and all of that type of stuff, that's fine. So £5, I mean, but if you have a family, of 4 or whatever it is, and you feel guilty not giving the least amount, which is £5. Now I've always been used to, you go in, you put, I would do £5 anyway, so that's not a thing. But I feel like for people who would like to make a donation, but maybe don't have £5, so maybe they want to do £2, or maybe they want to do £3. I do feel like to ask for a £5 donation is quite, I feel it's quite a lot of money, especially for a family.
Now, Ray's raised a good point. She says everybody has a card reader now. The Big Issue guy has a card reader. Lol. Do you know what? That's one thing. I was saying this to Kelly. It was sad to see, but I was on the tube the other day. As I came out the station, there was a beggar asking for change. And I thought that as well. Very few people now that I know actually carry change. I mean, I'm still old school, so I do have a wallet, but I don't have much change in there. Yeah, and exactly, it's a donation. It should be up to you how much you pay.
Right.
Always reminds you like a leaving do. So in a leaving do, they always come around with a collection. Now, obviously, the traditional thing. I remember this many years ago at work, not my current work. If you're watching, not my current work, but one of the old places I worked at, and they did a collection. Now, collection traditionally is always what you want to put in. Some people might put 10p in. Some people might put a £5, £10, depending on what they want to do. But it caused a huge argument in the office because the person that went round said, I want everybody to contribute £5. Now this is many years ago, and it caused a bit of an uproar because, and it's true, I did agree with the guy that disagreed with it, because he said, no, I don't want to give £5. And also, you don't know somebody's financial situation.
You don't.
£5 may be the difference between make or break.
Eating that day or not eating that day. I feel like
oh wow, Ray said we have a lot of beggars around here asking for £1 like it's nothing.
Yeah.
But again, people don't carry change. I do wonder if you'll ever see that people can you spare some change, and they'll have a card reader.
Well, no, because if you're homeless, you can't have a bank account. And your card reader would go to your bank account. Therefore, if they have a card reader,
that's true.
that means they have a bank account. So they're not homeless.
That's true, actually. It's difficult to say, actually, because if you, like you say, if you got the change, but if people aren't carrying change, what can you do?
I mean, I think that is, I am very much of the mind of everything is Big Brother. Everything is becoming Big Brother.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why I know the pandemic had a big thing to do with that, but I also think a lot of places, and I'm going to say the government, I do think that they would encourage the fact of using your card because it leaves a digital print and people can track you.
That's true. I mean, in actual fact, that's the thing. When you do pay by card, it does leave the digital print, like you say.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant for data analytics.
Yeah.
So you can monitor people's spending, how much they spend, where they spend,
what they spend it on,
and you can also influence. This is how cookies work in as you know in so when you do start viewing things and you accept cookies, I always notice that as well. No matter what website on, these adverts come up for things.
Right.
Oh, they're nice. I thought, oh my god, I was looking at those a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And they brought up other styles for me, and I'm just thinking, I thought, how did you know? And then, of course, then of course, the algorithm will be. I was looking at that. I accepted the cookies. Therefore, I've agreed to consent to all of that. Therefore, you will then show me more products later down the line. As you know, my memory's not the best.
Yeah.
I will forget and do it that way. Ray said, one guy asked me if I could get him a Lucozade Sport. I don't even buy them myself. £92. Well, do you know what?
Lucozade Sport, though. I mean, like, what happened to water or like
I'll have the Dom Perignon. No, but I know what you're saying. It's a difficult one. That apparently is called aggressive begging.
Or can you just get me a drink? What happened to that? Like, can you just get me a drink? I mean, or I feel that I mean, if I see someone and I feel that they're genuine, because I do see a lot of people who I don't feel are genuine, but if I do see people that are genuine, I do give them £5. I actively give them £5 actively, but that's a personal choice.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't know everyone's situation, and a lot of people go, oh yeah, I don't give them money because they might spend it on this, they might spend it on that. That's fine, but that's nothing to do with me what they spend it on, because when you give that money, it's no longer your money. You're giving it, so you don't know what they're trying to forget. You don't know what hardships they've been through and things like that. So when you give the money, you're giving it wholeheartedly.
I was going to say with Ray, actually, sometimes that's not such a bad thing because you know what the money's going to be spent because you're buying it. So that sometimes. But I know what you're saying. £2 is a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that's how much Lucozade Sport costs now.
I mean, everything's gone up.
Yeah,
I just noticed it with our shopping.
Yeah. Oh, good God. Yeah. It's in the.
Everything's gone up. Hardly anything is on a deal.
Well in the triple digits.
Yeah.
And it's just the two of us, but well in the triple digits. So it is pricey. It is very, very pricey.
By the time you get your cleaning product, I mean, cleaning products are really expensive.
Ka-ching. So
that's not even on top of the food. So, and you have to buy things like toilet paper. I don't even know that's shot up so much. Toilet paper. something you're gonna flush down the
Literally down the toilet.
down the toilet, and it's so expensive, so expensive. It's crazy. But yeah, so I feel like a donation is exactly what it says in the tin. If you can give a bit more, like when you're going to the science museum, I will give a bit more in the sense that because the families who can't afford it can then go and enjoy the museum, because sometimes if especially if you've got children and you don't know what you're going to do with them, you can't afford to take them here and everywhere, but to be able to take them to we're very very lucky, I feel, in this country, in the sense that our majority of our museums and stuff are free.
Yeah, that is good. That was a Labour initiative many years ago to have everything that was free at the time.
When you go to the States, you're paying to get into all of these places.
To be fair, a lot of European countries, Paris, a lot of the museums you have to pay for.
Right.
And Rome, from memory, you had to. When I went to Italy, you had to pay for a lot of the museums.
Yeah.
So to entry it's quite normal to pay. I mean, there are obviously quite a few galleries and museums here you have to pay to get into, but it's amazing that so many are free.
So many are free, and even to go and walk around like some of the like castles and houses. Not all, to be fair, are free. But some of them just ask for donations. Excuse me. It's nice to be able to do things with little ones, or even as yourself, a single person, or as a couple, or whatever, who don't have money, but you know what, we'd like to do this. I mean, to even travel on the train and the tube is expensive. So to get anywhere these days, so if you can have a portion of it that for free, I think that's a good thing. Awesome. That's a good thing.
So Rayra, I'm going to change the subject slightly, just out of interest. Did you book for Sunday, or is it still going to be ad hoc? Is it still going to be a surprise? Are you still doing your roast, or have you decided on something else?
What does
Ray said, I don't mind. Oh yeah, sorry, I missed that bit. I don't mind buying a sandwich, said Ray, or a drink if they have a sleeping bag and a bag with belongings in. But the guy is just sat there with nothing. But I never give just money. I know it's difficult to gauge these things because you can never tell. You can never ever tell.
I saw a homeless older lady, and I could tell it was a recent thing. And we were leaving Covent Garden.
Okay.
And I could tell, and I just thought, that could be someone's grandma, or someone's, and I could tell her jumper was still, all right. She was in her sleeping bag, and I could tell that it was a recent thing. My aunt, she had a friend who was homeless, and he would come and see her every now and again, to go and have a shower and all of that type of stuff. And it's like you say, with £5, you don't know if it's on the edge or not. Do you know what I mean?
You don't know someone's financial situation.
You do not know someone's financial circumstances. And that £5 that people are blithely asking, I want £5. I want everybody. I worked in a place once where people were said, oh yeah, we're getting people birthday gifts and £5. So £5 was the thing that everybody needed to put in. Oh, we're
oh wow,
we had a lag.
Yeah, we did have a little bit of a lag. So Ray said we're going for Chinese now on a Sunday. Oh, Karen, hello you too.
Hey Karen.
And Sahinaz.
Hey,
hello Mark. Hello Mark and Kelly. Good evening. Lots of love from Sahinaz from India.
Aww.
Hope all is fine. We are very well. How are you? How's life in India? And is it really hot at the moment? I did know that you had a really. I was going to ask you actually. I think I asked you last time, but you had a really big hot spell. It was very, very hot. Is it still really, really hot now?
And Karen, how are you?
Yeah,
what are you getting up to? What are you doing and all of that type of stuff? You got any big plans for the weekend? We haven't planned any. I'm actually going for brunch tomorrow with a friend of mine, so that'll be quite nice. But other than that, I haven't made any plans. There are a couple of things that I want to get in the shops, I think. But yeah, I think we haven't made any plans really.
Well, I mean, I know you're going out for brunch. I am doing something very boring, studying, so nothing exciting. Tahina says yes, so hot here all the time. The AC in the room. No, I did read that it was incredibly hot. Karen's having the grandchildren tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Have you got anything planned for them? I was just talking about we went to the science museum. I went to the science museum yesterday with my cousin, and when you go on the website to book, like, because they're doing it in tickets, they give you a time slot now, which I think is good. But there were so many children. I don't know what
Yeah.
type of time slot that they were doing, but it wasn't as packed as it could have been, but I feel it was pretty packed because there were a lot of school tours. So while there weren't many adults, there were lots of children, lots and lots, just running around with their backpacks on and all that. But I didn't on the ground floor, because we didn't get to do all 3 floors because baby's still, wandering about, and it took forever to get him from A to B, bless him. And he was very interested in. So downstairs is all the engine stuff. So you had the train, like old steam trains and things like that, and how engines worked. And then you had these, what I believe are Spitfires, but it wasn't really my domain because it was very Mark. Do you know what I mean? Like, he could have explained things a lot better and
No,
things
I think
like that.
probably did a good job. I wasn't there, obviously. So I
No,
haven't seen it, but
So and I didn't take a lot of footage because the little one, we were sort of like following him around and all of this. And there was this wheel where you could press pennies, and so he was just very interested in just turning this wheel where you could press pennies and things like that. And then they had like a little tube where it wasn't a tube, but it looked like a tube that you would walk in, them kids tubes. But it was big. It was just a half an arc, more like. And they've done it in a corner, and then they hung things on the wall low down for kids to be able to turn knobs and push buttons and things like that. And so the kids really liked that. And then I went to see the film. So my cousin booked a film at 3 o'clock at the IMAX, which is inside. And I didn't feel that it was very wheelchair friendly, and I didn't feel that it was stroller friendly, really.
I know. I suppose that's the thing as well. I know because you've got your equalities hat on, but I know what you're saying. It's
well, I just felt that. I mean, don't get me wrong. There were lifts to go up and down and stuff like that, but the IMAX is at the very top, and at no point did I see a lift that could take you to the very top. We walked with the toddler because you had to leave your stroller.
Right.
So you had to leave the stroller downstairs, and then you had to walk all the floors. It was like I was going up to see God. It was my time, and I was going up all the stairs that we walked with a 1.5-year-old. And so we got to the top, and then there were more stairs, and then we got to, and then there were more stairs, and then when you're in the cinema, there were more stairs. So at the end, he had fallen asleep, bless him. Including all the adverts, and there were a lot of adverts. The film was an hour, but I think really the film might have only been half an hour, maybe 40 minutes. The film itself. And I've got to admit, it had been a long day, and I was falling asleep during the film. I was like the baby, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm falling asleep. And so the film was really good. So if you do have little ones, and that is something you want to go and see, definitely. I think there might be a payment of some sort, but I think my cousin bought the tickets for that. And I want to say it was something like £11, but you will have to go online and check. And it was a very good informative film. And if you have kids that can sit through, they're very much on the thing of climate change and all of that type of stuff, and how the ice is melting, and the sea lion, and he's about to catch the penguin, and all of this type of stuff. It's very nice, very good.
So I missed quite a few comments here. Sorry guys, we were talking. So pleased to have the internet back, says Karen.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I was
that's why she couldn't join us.
No, that's what I thought as well. So it's really good to have you back. No, nothing planned as yet with the nephews, with the grandchildren. But I love having them. We get on very well. I'm so glad. And she said, Mark, have you stopped sanitizing your shopping now? Well, actual fact, we did. Although I was saying to Kelly, just out of habit, I took this, I sanitized everything, I brought them up. I thought, I said to Kelly, I sanitized them. So, do you know what? It's so psychological.
Yeah.
I had it embedded in there. So,
but even with me, it takes me a little while, because like my automatic thing is I want to wipe everything down.
Yeah.
And I have to force, I have to force myself to not wipe it down. But I still got a psychological block thinking, do I have COVID on my hands? Does that make sense? So it's just this psychological trying to put things away without having to wipe them down. But I do force myself, yes.
Why am I doing this? Why am I doing
A drum roll?
Drum, because Ivy!
Hey, Ivy!
We have, she goes, hi guys, hope you're it's been so long.
It
Missed you
has
both.
been so
That's
long.
why I did the drum. Really good to see you. I hope you're well. Hope everything's good. How
Yeah.
are you? Charlie, hello. Now, funny
Mm.
enough, I was trying to yes, get yourself into the head that you have got to get a new routine in.
Yeah.
Get your head in now.
Yeah.
Oh, Karen said it's monkeypox now. Oh no.
I know. Do you know
No.
what? I'm trying not to let myself be that. I think they found 50 cases. That was the day before yesterday. They had 50 cases in London. I don't know what it's up to now. I've got to be honest. I don't know what it's up to now. But it's one of those things. They won't do a lockdown for it, to be fair. But it will be to push some type of an agenda, I'm sure.
No, I can't see them doing a lockdown.
No, I don't think they'll do a lockdown.
Oh, Charlie said hi. Just in McDonald's. Oh, you're in McDonald's now.
Wow.
Oh, Charlie, I saw your Central Park video, the one you did in Scunthorpe. Very good. I love the fountain in the middle. Yeah, I'm very sorry to everybody. I've been meaning to catch up on my videos. Sahinaz, I've been meaning to. I was looking at your spicy aloo rice. So I will have a look at that video at some point. But I checked out Charlie's ones very, very quickly before we go on to the live. So, are you in Scunthorpe now and you enjoying Central Park? Yeah, 3 more cases in London today, said Karen. It's all. I don't think we will do, like you said, the wipe down for monkeypox because it is skin.
Yeah, that's skin. Yeah.
Rather than, I don't think if somebody had monkeypox, touch something and then you handle it, it's the same.
Yeah, no, it's not the same. But what they're saying is skin to skin contact, which would be difficult if you're a parent.
Yeah.
You're not going to not hug your child or touch your child or whatever. Oh, you might have monkeypox. Off to bed with you.
Oh,
it's crazy, isn't it? Oh.
So Ivy said, "I'm good, thanks, but thank you, but I haven't been very well. So just trying to get good terms with everything. Kept missing your last live, so I'm glad TV caught you guys today. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, I hope things are getting better, whatever it is. And
wow, Charlie's got 220 followers.
Wow.
You are shooting up.
You are shooting up.
Your last video had 14 comments I saw, which is really good, and from a lot of people from all around the world.
Wow.
So well done. So do check out Charlie's Central Park. I was thinking of friends. Central Park video in Scunthorpe. I need to catch up on Richard's videos as well. I'm real behind.
I did take a look at a couple of Richard's videos. He did the Elizabeth line. It's called the Elizabeth line.
It's called the Elizabeth line. What's called Crossrail now changed to the Elizabeth line.
And the seats look really nice and plush.
They do. I should hope so.
The newness of the train. Who knows when they'll get grubby, but
4 billion overspent, so I should hope it's nice.
But it's nice, yeah.
So he did go. It goes to Heathrow, so it's something actually when we are able to get back on holiday, we could look at, because it goes to Heathrow to Paddington very, very fast.
Oh, wow.
Apparently. So normally, if anyone is familiar with the Underground, Heathrow is on the Piccadilly line, and it takes forever. It's about 1 hour and 20 minutes into King's Cross. It is a long journey. So this is supposed to speed it up massively.
But even with the Heathrow Express, I don't know how quickly it is with the Heathrow Express, because you've got Gatwick Express and you've got Heathrow Express. So I don't know.
Starlight Express. Well done, Charlie, says Karen. Is anyone having a street party for the Jubilee celebration?
No, but I will do a small gathering in my garden. I say my garden, our garden.
No, it's her garden.
In our garden.
I just live here.
You just reside here.
Yeah.
And so so we will do maybe like a very small brunch or something. And I've ordered some bunting and stuff like that. So hopefully that will come on Monday.
Oh, Ivy's going to do a small afternoon tea.
I was thinking afternoon tea, but we're doing brunch instead.
So what have you got planned for your afternoon tea? Are you doing sandwiches? Are you making your own? Or are you going to do the chef's way? I say the chef's way. That's what I call it, the chef's way, when you just order it in. M&S do a nice selection.
Yeah, M&S and what you call it, do a nice selection as well. Prep.
But I'm imagining Ivy's going to be there
making them,
baking away.
I should imagine you'll be baking them. So I'm going to do some baking. So we're going to do a brunch, and I'm also going to do some baking. So my Thursday is going to be very busy, really. So yeah, so is anyone else doing something or going to? I would love it if they had a street party here.
I don't.
I would really like it, but they would have had to have applied for a license because you would have had to have shut the road.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah,
And we've received no notice and stuff. And
yeah, that's true. Oh well, the thing is as well, it's organised. So funny enough, a person I used to work with many years ago, their whole street organised it. So they all got together, knocked on everybody's door, put an application in for the council. The council accepted it and blocked the street.
Yeah.
Off. But I can't imagine in our street. I don't think there's much interest in doing it.
Yeah, I mean it's very easy to block the road off because there are other routes you can get to either of the roads. So our road is not integral, but our road is the easiest to connect to main roads, and people fly down the road. They have put some speed bumps in, but it still doesn't slow people down.
Oh, Karen said there are lots of street parties in Kingston, and we have one down our road. Oh wow!
Ooh.
Are you going to go to it, or are you going to have something special at your place? I can imagine actually that there'll be a lot of street parties all over the UK.
Yeah, I'd love to go to a street party.
Well, actually, we could just gate crash one. Although I don't think
I don't think you can.
No, probably not. I think if you bought something, you could. Do you want to join you? I've got some cake. But,
I mean, if I knew of one, I'd probably approach somebody on that road that I knew. So, like, if one of my friends say, "Oh, we're having a street party. Why don't you come down or whatever?"
Karen said, "I might go." Good.
Yeah, you
Why
should.
Not? I did wonder actually because there's a park not too far from us, and I did wonder if they were going to do something in the park.
They haven't announced anything because I did check.
Okay.
So they haven't, but I reckon a lot of people will go to the park. I think that would be something that we could do later on in the day.
Yeah.
Is go down there, bring sandwiches and stuff like that, and that'd be quite nice.
Oh, so Ray said in Lidl they have a Sicilian lemon curd Swiss roll. I bought some from my Jubilee pudding stroke trifle.
I bought one. M&S did one, and I've bought some M&S ones.
Yeah, exactly. So Kelly's got the same idea.
Yeah, I'm just gonna buy all the components. I've already got the jelly. I've got the custard. Although I think I have to buy new custard because I think that custard has to be in today.
I don't know why you bought that custard.
Yeah, no, because I was gonna make one last week, and I didn't make it last week because I was gonna do a mock one. So it all the ingredients.
Can I have some of that custard?
Yeah, I meant to say to you, to have it. I did say to you to have it yesterday.
Right, I'm going to do a live taste test with this custard. You see, now she can't tell me off because you're watching.
No, but I did say to you, I said, oh yeah, have it yesterday. Now he wants to go and do a live taste test.
I'm going to do a live taste test. All right then, if anybody wants to see the live taste test of M&S custard, I will not let people down. That's my saying.
We'll see. Yeah, you go. Yeah, do the live taste test. It's Madagascar vanilla custard. And you like it quite a lot, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
I must add it to the shopping because that's one of the things I haven't added to the shopping.
Well, I was going to say actually, so with the M&S one, it's really nice. We did have it at a party we did many moons ago. And all your friends would say, "Oh my God, that custard's so good." Yes, do a live now. There you go. Thank you, Karen.
You only need one person say.
That's all I needed.
So basically, and whenever I do cake, people always want. I'm not a custard person. This custard is actually quite nice, but I never really do what you call it. I'm not really one for custard. I never have cake and custard. The only time I ever have cake and custard is if it's chocolate cake and mint custard. That is the only time. And part of me would really, really love to do chocolate cake and mint custard. But I think because I'm going to do, so basically I'm planning on doing maybe 2 cakes. But I also would like to do I believe that you would call it a St. Clement cake, a St. Clement chess cake, which would be an orange cake and a lemon cake, right? And I'm thinking of doing it as a chess, sort of like a chess cake.
Oh, Karen said, you do like that. Ray said, I've not eaten them yet, Karen, but I will definitely try it. Oh, yeah, that's the. Oh, what was you saying? I've not eaten. I must have missed that.
No, I love custard. What?
Oh yeah, Karen said I love custard. Right.
No, she's not eating. I'm assuming the cake yet. She's not eating
the cake. Oh yes, of course. Sorry, I've lost it then.
He's too excited about the custard.
Too excited about the custard. Right. So that's it. So this is the Gastropub M&S Madagascar vanilla custard. Now they do another. They had another one that was very similar, but not the Gastropub. I'm trying now their Gastropub version. So open it up. Wow. Now I've got to tilt this so it doesn't come out. But if you look at that, it really is. It's full of little vanilla bean pods. You probably
I don't
can't
think
see
they're
that,
going to see that.
but that is. This looks amazing. Oh, Mark, you have to eat the whole pot now.
Oh, he will.
Oh, Karen, do you know what? As you've said it, and only for you, I shall do that.
Yeah, he's going to eat the whole pot. Trust me.
I've got to say, guys, that is amazing.
It does. It looks like cream.
It tastes like vanilla cream. It's like somebody's just got cream, but it's so good. Do you want to try it?
Oh.
Without knocking it on my hand. What do you think?
I like it. Like I said, I don't really eat custard, but I do like this one. And I would probably have it cold. I wouldn't have it warm. A lot of people like their custard hot.
Yeah.
Traditionally, because custard is normally hot. So I think a lot of people.
You have to finish the whole thing on while we're on air. Well, again, if you ask, it's probably not a good idea, but I am going to give it a good go.
Yeah, he will. Trust me.
Do you know what? It's
He could finish a pot of ice cream on his own.
It tastes like really good quality ice cream, but in custard, if that makes sense.
Does it? I don't think so. To me, it tastes like cream, almost like a chantilly cream.
Yeah,
That's
this is really good.
Yeah, it almost tastes like, to me, like a chantilly cream. But I need to get some more. Maybe I'll get 3 pots or something, and then to put it on the custard. But I think the custard in the platinum pudding is a lemon flavor, so I would add lemon to it.
Well, I shouldn't really look at the calories.
But this is the thing, right?
Oh my god, it's about so. How much I've eaten is 20 grams of fat just on there. That's the equivalent of me eating an entire meal.
Mark, before he gets on a plane, we'll watch plane crash videos and things like that. And it's just like, but why do you need to look at that, or why do you need to do that? These are things that you don't need to look at, or things like that.
It was like that gag. Have anyone seen the film Airplane? They said, of course, everything's gone wrong. The people have eaten the fish and they're all sick. So they go, sit back, relax, and enjoy the movie. And you see this plane just crashing into the ground.
And it's just like, really, seriously? So yeah, that is my idea. I'd like to make a St. Clement's cake. I think St. Clement's is orange and lemons.
Yeah, that's
oranges and lemons at the bells of St. Clement's. And so I'd like to try and make a chess cake. Because I've been thinking about chess cake, right? And I've been thinking about, like, what colors do I want, what flavors do I want, and all of this. But I think
that's not bad.
Oranges and lemons. So I think St. Clement's. I think that is going to be.
Karen, this is amazing. I'm not going to lie. That is so good. Do you see how quiet I am while Kelly's talking?
Exactly.
And I'm realizing I'm being very rude because I'm ignoring you guys in the live. But that is so good. I cannot explain. It's like a cross between, like Kelly says, it's a cross between cream, ice cream, and vanilla. It's so creamy. It's so delicious. That is way better than anything you could get in a.
Now, what you do, you put the spoon in there.
Yeah.
And then just put it to the side.
No, don't stop. I am going to stop purely because unless you're going to see me have a heart attack. I'll finish that later, though. Go on, you carry on.
Anyway, so I think whenever I bake a cake, a lot of people like to have custard with the cake. But if I do the trifle, there will be a lot of custard in the trifle. So which then means, and I find that a lot better because normally a lot of people will have the bird's custard or tinned custard, or some people will even make their custard. I'm not one of those people that'll make the custard, by the way. But I have seen people, but I'm not one for lumpy custard and things like that. And I think that's probably what put me off as a child, that it was just so thick. And I'm one of those, I told you before, I'm not one of these people that likes anything gelatinous. And when you picked up the custard, it would just like blop, blop. And so, yeah, I'm not, so yeah, so I think it kind of put me off. But I did used to like chocolate cake and mint custard. So that is an idea maybe that is whirring in my head. But if I was to do the chess cake, I think I would only make one cake. If I don't do the chess cake, then maybe I would make 2 cakes. Because when you do a chess cake, you have to make 2 cakes anyway. So it may be an idea that I either do the chest cake or 2 cakes. So I'll have to think about that. Think about what I'm going to do.
Missed your mouth mark. Yeah, but
Yeah, several times.
do you know what? Actually, and I'll tell you how stupid that was. As I was downstairs, so there's about that much left. I might as well just left it.
It might as well just eaten it.
But it was delicious, and I love a trifle too, Karen.
Yeah, I'm not a lover of trifle, but I do like the look of this one.
Oh, me too, Karen. It's my favourite. My mum used to make her own trifle at Christmas with sherry and fruit.
Oh wow!
Have you ever tried to replicate it, or is that just too difficult to replicate?
Does your mum make trifle?
Yes.
Yes.
But I've noticed that actually every mom, so I remember my aunt as well, they all have a different recipe trifle.
Right.
No other I've noticed that, and I've gone around friends' houses with their parents. Oh, this is obviously when I was a lot younger, and their mums would make a trifle.
Right.
And every trifle was different.
Yeah.
I've never ever had 2 trifles the same. Oh no, it's like 3 days work. Says, oh really? So you let.
Because I suppose you'd have to soak things, right?
Yeah,
Let the sherry soak and stuff like that, maybe.
Yeah, my mum used to do that. She used to do a fruit salad, right? And I never ever understood why her fruit salad tasted different from anybody else's. And many years later, this is even as we were a kid. Sorry, Mum, I'm going to reveal your secret. She used to put several spoonfuls of sherry in it. So what you'd have all the fruit, and she put the sherry because
I would imagine it's more than several spoons.
Yeah, and it was obviously you had the. But my brother and I, when we were kids, we'd be spooning like, oh, this is so nice. But she put water, obviously you get a lot of liquid in there anyway, in the fruit, as it would get. And then she put several spoonfuls of sherry and leave that. But because there's so much water in it anyway, of course it gets diluted in there, but it gives it a really sweet taste. Because my brother and I didn't know, when she wasn't looking, and drink all this juice, of course, sherry
juice.
We had no idea. But whenever I went to other people's houses and they made a fruit salad, it never tasted the same. And I think it's because of that. It was sherry.
Right. I was still thinking of trifle, but yeah, fruit salad. Yeah. So yeah.
But yeah, I think the reason why I said that is as well because you do soak. Some people do soak the ladyfingers in booze.
Yeah. But with the fruit salad, I should imagine that the sherry would stop the fruit from discoloring.
I don't know actually. So do you guys, with your just out of interest, with the trifle, do you soak? Do you use ladyfingers at the bottom, or some people I know do biscuits? Some people don't have any biscuit base at all. But if you do you actually soak that in booze? And if you do, what booze do you use?
And some people just put it around the sides. Put the ladyfingers around the sides.
No, yeah, that's right.
So you can see that they're ladyfingers.
Ray said, I used to love the topping on Bird's trifle in a box. Oh yeah, because it used to have the cream, and it always had hundreds and thousands on the top, or sprinkles as they call them.
No, I was never a Bird's custard fan.
Oh,
it was just too thick, and even when you went to school, the custard was too thick.
Now I've got to say, it's not a patch on what I've just had.
No.
Or that big gallon that you see me eat, but the Bird's custard is, and it's got a quite strong flavour to it.
And very yellow.
But what I was interested in actually, Sahina's in one of her recipes. So she did a sharbat, which is a type of milky drink. But she does put custard powder in that milk. So she'll make the almost like a milkshake. And so you've got this milkshake and you add nuts and berries to it. And you boil the nuts and berries and turn it into a paste, add that. Then you add custard powder. To it, but it looked like the Bird's custard powder, and then you make that, not freeze it, but you cool that, add ice cubes, and you drink it. So it's like almost like a custard milkshake.
Wow.
But yeah, I've not had the Bird's topping on it. It's not been for a long time, but you used to get the Bird's trifle. There was a very simple trifle, if I remember, Ray. It was basically just, I think it was sponge at the bottom, jelly, custard and cream, and that was it. There was nothing else in it, but I do remember the Bird's trifle.
Yeah, I remember the Bird's trifle, and my whole family really like custard. It's just really me that doesn't like it, but everybody else loves custard.
Don't know what you're missing. Custard. They did it. Well, funny enough, they did do, and when I say they, I was a newspaper, a national newspaper, I forget which one, but they did do a poll on what people thought was their favorite sauce. So it could be any sauce. And what came number one?
Yeah, but are you talking about Custard?
She
Are
didn't
you
ask the
hold on?
question.
Are you talking about custard or sauce on
So
glaze?
any sauce. It could be mushroom sauce, sauce béarnaise.
Yeah, but you're gonna say custard. But I know you're gonna say custard, but
Yeah,
the
it's
thing
custard.
is, there's a difference between custard and sauce on glaze, and a lot of people who say sauce on glaze think it's custard, and it's not. I'm just saying.
I thought it was the same thing.
No, sauce on glaze is similar to what you had, similar to that custard,
Oh.
not your yellow gloopy custard
I thought it was creme anglaise,
or creme anglaise.
which is just English cream.
Yes, well, yeah, English cream,
Yeah.
but it's not English cream. It's English cream as in the English cream you just had,
Oh, okay.
not as the bird's custard. Is what I'm saying. So when you get a strawberry tart, like a strawberry thing, it's filled with the sauce on glaze,
Right.
not filled with they call it creme anglaise, but they call it a custard, but it's not. I think it's made in the same way, but it's not as yellow or anything like that. Or gloopy.
Ray. Kelly doesn't like it, but I'm the same. Angel Delight, my kids used to love. I used to blob a squirty cream on top. Do you know what? My mum never got Angel Delight. It's only when I went to university.
What?
Yeah, and no, because she used to make her own blancmanges and stuff. She wouldn't buy packet mixes.
Right. The good way. So your mum made it the good way.
Yeah, exactly. But then when I went to university, yeah, squirty cream on top, not squinty cream. Yeah, squinty cream. No, I thought you meant squirty cream. Yeah, and I went round. It was Andy, my friend Andy.
Right.
And I went round his house. He goes, "Do you want some Angel Delight?" And I said, "What's this?" He goes, "Mark, you've got to try it." And he said, "The best is butterscotch. Try it." So I tried it, and he was right. Butterscotch is the best one. It's so good. I cannot believe you don't like it.
I've got to say, even as a child, and this went the same for what's the spaghetti in the pot? Pot noodle.
Pot noodle.
Right.
You never had pot noodle?
Of course I've had pot noodle. Now I've got to say this goes for the same for pot noodle. Angel Delight, pot noodle, and smash. Right, these were the three things. Even as a child, tasted so synthetic, I could not eat them.
Oh, you're wrong. You're wrong.
I couldn't as a child, right? And as a child, you don't know what tastes synthetic. But even as a child, I could not eat those three things.
There was a guy I used to work. I told you, a guy I used to live with. Sorry, not work with. Live with, and he, when we used to as well, he used to have. Scouse guy used to have pot noodle sandwiches when he couldn't be bothered to cook. So he'd make his pot noodle, boil it up, let that, because you've got to leave it, haven't you? So the water soaks into the noodles. And then he'd get two massive wedges of doorstep bread, butter those, he'd put the pot noodle in on the one slice of bread, sandwich it, and he'd have a pot noodle sandwich. And he loved that pot noodle sandwich.
Some US, the poor US cousin of Sloppy Joe's.
Oh yeah,
the poor cousin.
Pot noodle sandwich, and he'd have, not every day, but he'd often have, if he couldn't be bothered to cook, because he couldn't cook, he would have pot noodle sandwiches. That's how.
See, my sister really liked pot noodle.
Did she?
Yeah, she really enjoyed pot noodle. Oh, can you get me a pot noodle? And I was just like, but I also had it many years later, thinking that they, you know, like a lot of things, they changed the recipe to make it a lot better.
Yeah,
a lot better. But even then, it will still taste rubbish. No, I couldn't eat the three things.
So this, actually, I like where this conversation's going. Ray said, smash with dried onions and corned beef I had when I was at uni. Bristolian Welsh, hello. Join us. He said, I was addicted to hash brown sandwiches at one point with cheese and red sauce. Oh, that sounds amazing. Hello, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining. I can relate to, not so much with the ketchup and all of that type of stuff, but yes, I used to love crisp sandwiches and things like that with cheese in the middle. So I could eat that now, a crisp sandwich. Hash brown sandwich, yes, I could eat that. Smash, no.
All right, so Ray said pot noodle tastes like cardboard. Ray, you are wrong. You are wrong.
You don't even eat pot noodle.
Not now, but I used to a lot.
Did you?
Yeah, when I was a kid, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, do you know what? A lot of it was when I was a teenager, my mum was working at the time, so was my dad. So I'd get home from school.
Your dad would have pot noodle ready for you?
No, Dad wasn't there. He's at work. So no, what would happen is my mum would say, if you want to snack, just help yourself to stuff in the cupboard. Bless Mum, she always had tons of food in. But it would range from everything. Because obviously I'm a teenager, I don't know how to cook. So it'd either be beans or I think, pot noodle. So I'd make myself a pot noodle. But I really enjoyed them. But also when I was studying as well, like my mum would go to work and I was at home studying. This is often my GCSEs. I would make myself a pot noodle.
Wow.
And then have that for lunch. But what was I going to say? So I like these ideas. So Ray Ray's uni food was smashed with dried onions. I love the crispy onions
I love crispy
and
onions.
corned beef. So Bristolian Welsh was saying he loved hash brown sandwiches with cheese and red sauce. Red sauce, do you mean ketchup?
Ketchup, yeah.
All right, okay. Now I'm gonna say that sounds amazing. Has anybody else got any guilty pleasure foods that they used to eat? So apart from like the pot noodle sandwiches and things like that, yeah, ketchup. Sorry, that's what I thought you meant.
Yeah, ketchup.
Right, now I'm going to tell you mine because your brother said it and it made me laugh because I used to have the same thing. So again, one thing I used to have as a teenager, and I got into it as well, and I got my mate into it, was my mum used to buy steak. This is when I used to eat meat, steak and kidney pies,
Right.
ready made. So
Oh,
I used to put them in the microwave for 3 minutes, and again I get doorstep bread. So there wasn't me with the pot noodle sandwiches, but I know this sounds the same. Doorstep bread, butter one, butter another, pie sandwich. And I would have the same thing. Steak and kidney pie sandwich is delicious. And my friend came round and I said, do you want a steak and kidney pie sandwich? He went, pie sandwich? I said, just try it. Just try it. And I made him one. He said, oh, Mark, this is nice. So we used to come around my house and have either steak and kidney pie or chicken and mushroom sandwiches.
I think I never really had anything that I could say.
You must have had something that was just. I know you're a lady.
No, no, no. I'm just trying to think but I used to make. Do you know what it was? Like if I went to school and stuff like that, if I didn't fancy having like school dinners or I wanted to save a bit of money or whatever, I used to make myself burger sandwiches. So I'd grill burgers. Yeah, I'd grill.
That's it. I thought you meant like a burger and then more.
No, I'd grill a burger, put it, but I didn't mind eating it cold. So a lot of people are like, oh, cold burgers, but that never bothered me. So I'd have like burger sandwiches, but there wasn't something that I can specifically say like a pot noodle or something. I used to like the turkey drummers.
Yeah.
The Bernard Matthew turkey drummers. And one day I ate so many. Well, I say so many. I ate about 5, and
that's a lot for you.
I was sick, and I never had them again.
Ray said the only good thing about Smash was the television advert.
Oh, yeah.
For Mash,
Get
Smash. So if you're a certain age, you will remember that one. It was the little robots. They look like Zippy and metal.
Yes,
Zippies.
That's right. Yeah.
And yeah, but do you know
if you know who Zippy is?
Yeah. Well, funny enough, they did Channel 4 did a competition. So you voted in your favorite advert of all time, and Smash won. Out of the top 100 adverts, Smash came number 1. So yeah, that was the top advert. Like I said, the products was, but that shows the power of advertising compared to the products, that people do remember that and vote that as number 1. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else I had. Oh yeah, cheesy beans was another one I had at university.
Right.
So I would just get great cheese. I go to Quick Save and buy. They used to do big slabs of cheese for about 40 to 50p. So you can imagine the quality of that. This was in the 90s.
Yeah.
And then you grate that into a 4p can of beans, obviously on the hob.
Yeah.
And then that all mixes in, so you get a real
cheesy beans.
And I'd make that, and my flatmates go, "Can I dunk in your cheesy beans?" And they would. They'd grab some bread, my 3p bread, and for a loaf. This is Quick Save. That had sorted me out as a student. My budget was about £5 for the week in those days.
Yeah.
For food. And they dip their bread in and have a bite of the cheesy beans.
Like with me,
exactly, Ray. When people watch TV.
Yeah, exactly. I think for me, the things that I like when I got into my 20s, there were these noodles that they don't do them anymore actually because I've not seen them. They were Sainsbury's noodles, I think, and they would be like you could sprinkle the chili flakes on them, and they'd be really tasty. So I would have those noodles and something else with them. So normally something I would like, some type of chicken I would bung in the oven. But yeah, that's pretty much. I didn't have anything that. Yeah, because I didn't like. I suppose my taste buds maybe developed quite early because even now my mum go, oh, Kelly wouldn't eat this, oh, Kelly wouldn't eat that. Me and my brother were talking the other day about like say if there was a food shortage like there is where is it he was saying that there's a food shortage at the moment?
Sri Lanka.
In Sri Lanka. So he's thinking, oh yeah, he could do like rice and then put a get a can of minestrone soup on the bit of rice, and that would feed a family of 4 or whatever. And I said to him, oh, you know what I would have? Corned beef. And then he went, even corned beef is expensive these days. And I was thinking, is it? But I remember having that as a kid. We never had it in the house really. There was a couple of times my mum might have made corned beef and rice, but you normally had it at school. So if you were going on a school trip, you would either get a corned beef roll or a spam roll. I always hated the spam roll, but if you got a corned beef roll, I really enjoyed the corned beef roll. And probably now it might be 20 years or something like that in between, but I could have a corned beef sandwich and really enjoy it. And I remember one time I was working for it was a council in London. I was temping there, and it had been many, because I hadn't had it since I was a kid, and the lady, a trolley lady, would come round and she'd ring a bell like they did in the old school days, and you'd go into the corridor and you say, can I have a cup of tea, or can I have this or whatever. So she'd ring the bell to say that she's outside. And then you'd go outside, and I saw she had corned beef sandwiches, and I thought, oh, do you know what? I ain't had corned beef in years.
Oh wow!
I love a corned beef sandwich.
Ray confirms a can of corned beef is around £3.
Wow!
So that has gone up a lot. Tuna's cheaper.
Wow!
You'd be able to get cans of tuna cheaper.
Yeah, but I don't like canned tuna.
Of course you don't. This one, if there was, God forbid, there was ever an apocalypse, she'd be there.
You'll be there with your minestrone soup, will you?
Well, no, Kelly would be like this.
And your rice.
Deliveroo aren't taking my number. Why aren't you taking my order?
And Mum would be like, I don't want rice. I don't want rice. I don't like rice. I don't want rice.
I've got to be honest, I'm not a big fan of rice.
I don't want pasta.
Oh, and of
anything with a sauce, I don't want it.
The other thing I used to have is as well a lot of was crisp sandwiches. Love me crisp sandwiches.
Yeah, I like crisp and cheese sandwiches or crisp sandwiches. Yeah, either or.
But I was going to say I do love Bristolian Welsh's. Sorry, the sound of that, the hash brown sandwiches. That sounds amazing. What that 100%. Would be amazing is a hash brown baguette. That would be amazing with the red sauce. That would be right up the street. Now, can you imagine? Actual fact, you could do them like a breakfast baguette.
Yeah.
See, I'm trying to expand. I'm not trying to steal your idea, Bristolian Welsh. Sorry, but you've inspired me. That's the word. You've inspired me. So I get the baguette, open that up, have the hash browns in it, maybe some fried egg in there, maybe some onions in there, and then you could even put sausages in there. I'd have vegetarian sausage.
I mean, I don't have carb on carbs normally. It's rare that I will have carb on carbs. The only time I do really have carb on carb is if I get the McDonald's double sausage McMuffin.
Right.
And then in my double sausage McMuffin, normally I get it made without egg, or if they put the egg in, I take the egg out and put a hash brown
in. Why would you take the egg out? You don't like the egg?
No, I don't like the egg. It tastes too rubbery. I don't like it. So it doesn't taste like real egg. I have a suspicion it's not real egg.
Of course it's real egg.
But I have the hash brown instead. So I take the egg out and I put hash brown. It's the only real time I have carb on carb. I don't really I wouldn't have but it sounds amazing. And if we were going through a madness, then that would be one of the.
You don't need a madness to eat that. I think Bristolian Welsh is someone thing. I would eat that. I do really. Do you know what? I might have one tomorrow.
What, hash brown sandwich?
Hash brown sandwich. I'll report on the live next time with my hash brown sandwich.
With his hash brown
I've just had half a pot of, or 3/4 of a pot of custard, so I'm good to go.
I'm thinking, but yeah, I don't. Yeah, because I'm just trying to think amongst all the Tupperware and the Angel Delights and all of that when we were younger, like what I wasn't really.
No.
I mean, I liked chocolate biscuits. I like them now still, but I don't eat them that often.
No.
I have them every now and again. I'll have a McVitie's chocolate biscuit.
We do have them in, but I don't tend to have many. I'll have the ones you don't like.
Yeah, you'll eat ones that I don't like. But again, I don't. Yeah, there's never really been anything. I go through phases of things, but no, I don't have a guilty. Not that I can think of. It might come to me in my sleep. Oh yeah, I used to love those. But my mum didn't really do things like that. So she didn't. If we like, this was my mum's thinking, right? So this is my mum's thinking. So she would, if she bought us chocolate biscuits, and we have these chocolate biscuits, and they went too quickly, she would say, "Oh no, I'm going to get these crackers because the crackers will last longer." Of course, they would last longer because nobody ate it. Oh, that stays in the cupboard for ages. So that was my mum's thinking, right? So if she bought us anything that we liked and we ate it too quickly, she wouldn't buy it the next time. So there wasn't a chance to have a guilty pleasure. Like, I mean, I never liked Angel Delight and things like that, but there was never a chance to really have. If there was something that you really enjoyed, there was never a chance to really enjoy it because
No.
my mum wouldn't invest in it because it would cost too much money and because we would eat it too quickly. So yeah, so she wouldn't.
I know what you
things like
mean.
that.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? Because if she's buying stuff that nobody wants, oh, this lasts.
Yeah,
Look,
this last year, not
No-
realizing you're just wasting money.
Nobody's touched the asparagus ice cream. Well, look, it must be.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah, she was very much like that. So, because we didn't have much money, so we couldn't just finish things like that.
Yeah.
You know, and so it wasn't a case of, so if she bought anything that was too, like, I used to like shreddies, but the one, so with sugar, the frosty shreddies.
Oh yeah, frosted
and
Freddies.
things like that, and
Extra sugar Freddies.
yeah, she wouldn't get things like that, or she'd get something like Special K, which nobody would eat. Nobody would eat that. She wouldn't buy anything that was tasty, really. Yeah, she wouldn't buy anything that was tasty. And then she would cook food, and if you don't eat it, that's your loss. So because she's cooked food and it's there, so you either eat or you don't eat.
My friend said that. He said with his daughter, I think she was 10 at the time. He said to her, "You could during the week, Monday to Friday, you have to have porridge for breakfast. You have to have it." He said at the weekend you can have anything you want. He said, "Mark, what did she pick?" I said, "For breakfast, bran flakes." I said, "What?" He goes, well, "That's what she wanted, bran flakes." You know. But yeah, I suppose it's that tasty thing as well, and I think that's what was so nice actually being at home, because there's always stuff in the fridge, or there's always stuff in the cupboard, so you've always got stuff there to eat. That I missed. Do you know what? I don't know if you found that. Ray, I'd imagine would always be well stocked, but I've got to say it's one of those things that it was always nice to have stuff in the cupboards. So when I became a student, and I think, oh no, there's nothing there. You know what I mean? When you're a student as well, unless you buy it yourself, because that's one
you're
thing.
used to coming from a stocked home.
I used to come from a stocked home, and of course, like it's one of those things as well. It's you really makes you appreciate the fact that somebody is there just restocking everything.
We didn't have things like that in my house, so we didn't have like, crisps, biscuits, chocolates, and things like that. So our cupboard was never like that. There was only ever food in the cupboard, as in, food that you would have to cook. So that we never really had, we never really had. There'd be the odd occasion where we might have biscuits, but we didn't really eat a lot of biscuits and stuff anyway. But yeah, my thing was sweets. I really liked a lot of sweets, and my mum never really got like sweets in. Every now and again she'd get the caramel, Tunnocks caramels.
Oh, they're
my mum,
right.
yeah, my mum really liked those, and so every now and again we'd be able to have the Tunnocks caramels and things like that. So they'd be quite nice to eat. And what else? That was really it, to be quite honest. We never really had, not that I can remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was never like random crisps. There was never something you could go to the cupboard and go, oh yeah, I'm gonna have these crisps. It wasn't like in your house, so they'd be filled with food.
Oh, my mum would get loads of big selections, bless her. So she would just get massive selections. So my brother and I would just, because we ate a lot. When you got teenage boys, especially when we were then, that's we'd eat a lot.
Yeah.
You think I eat a lot now? I ate at least double back then.
Yeah. When we went to my cousin's house, though, there would always be cakes.
Yeah.
So because every night at my cousin's house they would have cake and tea. So that would be every evening. We never had desserts in my house. So there would be never something like, oh yeah, what's for dessert? There was never pudding.
Really? Oh
never.
My God, no, we'd have a riot at my house.
You have dinner. You have pudding at school, but there was never any pudding.
No. So I don't have it so much now, but I was going to say back then, my brother and I would expect dessert.
Yeah.
And you'd always be really miffed if it was a yogurt or fruit. You go, what? That's not. I want proper pudding. Fruit.
There was yogurts and there was cheese.
Fruit.
There was yogurts and there was cheese in the fridge.
I would.
Like you know, like a little yogurt, but there was no,
I would complain. No, I
we didn't grow up with that sort of, even if you went to my grandparents' house, there was never, yeah, it was never desserts and things like that.
But
And
Russians have got sweet tooth.
yeah, we do. We have very sweet tooth, but nobody ever makes any desserts.
It's sweet tooth, just extra sugar in your
Yeah,
tea.
you would have a cup of tea or something like that.
With
But
sugar.
and sometimes you'd have a biscuit. You'd have a biscuit with your cup of tea
Mm.
or something like that. Even if you went to my grandparents' house, we never had dessert or things like that. But there's sweets and chocolate. There'd always be, my grandparents would always have chocolates and things like that. You could go in you knew where the drawer was, and if you go in the drawer, sometimes there'd be, back then it was called treats before it was called M&Ms.
Mm.
So you'd have peanut treats. So but they were just plain chocolate covered nuts. It would always be something with nuts, right? Because the Russians really love nuts or coconuts and things like that. So anything with nuts that you would find in my grandparents' shop, or you would find the pink and white, what do you call it? Pink and white biscuits. You know the pink and white,
Oh,
the marshmallows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were they called?
Pink Panthers or something like that.
Pink wafers.
Yeah. And so you would always find that in their place, in the house. And you would find a bottle of Lucozade. Oh, I don't know. And it was the old bottles of Lucozade. Always them bottles of Lucozade.
Lucozade was always given to me when I was ill.
Yeah.
It just reminds you of being sick.
Yeah, you would always get it in the hospital.
Yeah.
Lucozade. But there will always be a Lucozade in my grandparents' house. There would always be Lucozade.
That taste always I can't drink it because it always reminded me of being sick.
Yeah. And but yeah, there was nobody's house that you really went to and there was dessert. So if you went for dinner, there was no real pudding. That came a lot later. But yeah, I think it's a Russian thing, because when maybe when they were younger, there was no, you had dinner and then you went about your business. It wasn't dinner and then you have dessert. They didn't have money for them sort of things. So I suppose that when they came here again, they didn't have much money. They were starting. So it wasn't a thing of, oh yeah, let's have dessert. But as we got older, my mum really liked ice cream, or they would get them ices that you put in the freezer. So like like a popsicle or something, and it would be in the freezer.
And they'd be there for months, and they'd be all caked in ice when you took
them
around.
And it's not something that you would, because you wouldn't eat them in the winter. You would only eat them in the summer, and you would only eat them on very hot days, because Russian parents are always frightened of a cold. So you see, look what happened. You had all those cold things. Now you're sick. Now you got a cold. And it would be very much like that.
Oh God! Despite there's no medical evidence to show that.
And in the summertime, right, my aunt, she was so self-conscious that the kids would get sick. Even if it was 100 degrees outside, she would make sure my cousins had a coat on.
Oh no!
A vest and a coat. So they would go hot to school, the vest and a coat. Be like, it's so hot outside. And yeah, so in Mauritius for a long time, like even now, like with the older people, they don't really drink anything cold. Even now, like if I say to my aunt, oh, do you want some water? I've got some in the fridge, or would you like room temperature? Oh no, room temperature. Or can you make me a hot cup of water, please, or something like that. They never really drink. That's the older generation. They never really drink cold things. They never really have ice creams and things. They will, but it's very rare.
Well, it did make me that was so funny, because when Evelyn and I went to Mauritius in that shop, so we walked in and they said, "Can I have a drink?" They said, "Do you want it warm or cold?" And I thought, "Cold, it's boiling outside." And they charged an extra.
Yeah, they charge you extra.
I was like, but it was so minuscule, the charge, just like 2p.
Yeah.
So I just thought, well, I'm not going to quibble about. But I just thought, why are you charging? But I realised that now, like you said, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, they charge. So when you go to Mauritius, but now the younger generation, they will have fridges and things like that. But again, they didn't have in Mauritius is it's sort of like now it's probably like 90s London rather than 2000s kind of London. It's kind of UK. So they're always a little bit behind, and they didn't have things like TV dinners or microwave meals and things like that. I don't even think I know of any houses that have microwaves in Mauritius, because these things don't exist. And so you might get the next generation. So I'm talking about maybe people's grandkids in Mauritius, that they may have microwaves then. But yeah, they don't there's not things that you can just bung in an oven. Your mum will always cook from scratch. Your mum will always do something. And even now, I mean, they buy cakes. They don't make cakes. If they're going to get a cake, I don't know of a Mauritian person that makes.
To be fair, I think a lot of people do that now. It's the ingredients are quite expensive now to make a cake, which as you know, because you make a lot yourself. So of course, I think, and also it's a lot of it for people is time. People don't have time to make, because you think about it, you've got to buy all the ingredients, you've got to go and source it all, go and buy it, then you've got to bring it all home, then you've got to make the cake, then and most like us, you're not going to have all the gadgets you need all in out, so you've got to then take all that out, then you've got to mix it all up, then you've got to put it all, bake it, then it creates so much washing up.
It's time and effort, but and they're not people that will have like dishwashers and things like that. I mean, but there are a lot of housewives, not so much the generation now, they work, so the women will work, but their mothers wouldn't have gone to work, they would have been housewives. So you have all day to cook, to clean, and that was your job. You cook, you clean, very much like women in the 70s, some of the 80s here. That was just normal. My mum was the only one really that wasn't. She wanted to work, so so when she was here, she went to college, and then after she went to college, she then went out to work, and because she wanted to be independent, she wanted to have her own money, and things like that were possible here. But in Mauritius, these things aren't. You will have there was there's roles there, and there's still roles there still, and but I don't know my cousin. She's not cut out to be a housewife, that one. So she's going to get married, but I don't think she knows how to run a house. Me too. I'm not cut out to be housewife material. So she. So I don't know what she. I think the husband's going to get a shock because
you can just buy the cakes. That's fine.
Well, no, because they don't really make. I don't remember any relatives that they do make cake, because my mum didn't know how to make a cake, and she called her cousin, and her cousin said to her, "This is how you make the cake."
Right.
And then my mum made the cake, but my mum wasn't brought up making cakes and things like that. She was there. You would have learned to cook, because you would come home from school and you would help your mum cook the dinner for your dad when your dad got home and things like that. So she will, like my mum would have, my mum was saying, that all three sisters had their jobs. So my mum's job was to do whatever, Auntie Jill's job was to do whatever, Auntie Marilyn's job was to do whatever. So they all had their jobs, and that's what they did when they got home from school. And that's and my gran would do the cooking to make sure the house is all ready for my granddad when he came home and all that. And that was life. But then when they came here, they realized, we don't have to do that over there. We can come in and make our own, lives and things like that. And that's exactly what they did. But my mum is very good. She's very clean. She's very tidy. She doesn't like clutter. She puts everything away. And if there's anything in the house that is causing clutter, she throws it away and all that type of stuff. And the sisters are the same pretty much. The other two, they're the same. The children after that, my generation, that I don't know.
There you go. We never know. That's the thing. But I do think, like I said, like me, for example, working just for convenience. And before we moved in, when I was living on my own, I used to do that. I did used to. It was all not ready meals, but it would be very quick. I just didn't have time. By the time I got back from work, plus I do house share at the time, so I have flatmates, so they would hold the kitchen. So I just want something very quick going, and I can do my own thing. So I would cook every day, but it'd be something very simple, like bung a load of, like I do with omelets, just bung a load of vegetables in the pan, fry that up, might have it with some bread, and that's it. That's my meal. Nothing, something very, very simple like that. I'd have my main meal. Funny enough, at work, I would go out and make myself something there, and then.
I think for me, I can cook. I just don't enjoy it. So
that's fair enough. Not everybody enjoys it.
So if I do make something, I will make it. So if if I say, oh, you know what, today I'm going to cook something, I will properly cook something. But if I don't, if I don't, I just think, oh, do you know what, today I'm going to just bung something in the oven, or I'll just do some salad or something like that. But I'm not really one for, but even my mum now, she doesn't really enjoy. My granddad would have a heart attack. Well, my granddad cooked from scratch every day. Every day he would cook from scratch. And my gran really hated it because all she wanted was just some mash and fish fingers. And then I'd say to my gran, well, why don't you just tell him that you want the, oh no, Kel, oh no, I'll just eat, because my granddad would get up from early. They would start to cook the rice. You have to cook the rice in a certain way and all of these. And, you know, whatever they were going to make, rugai or whatever was going to go with this rice. If you want to know anything about Russian cooking, you should watch Shalina Palmer-LaRue. She won MasterChef. Yeah. And it was her parents. And you know what? She was cooking with her mum in the kitchen, and this typical Mauritian parent. So Shalina's done very well for herself, right? So she's cooking, and everybody loves her food. Anyway, so she's cooking with her mum, and she's made something, and then, mum, can you taste it? So the mum got a little bit. That was her. Yeah, it's all right. But but she didn't praise her. Say, you know what? That's very nice. Oh yeah, that's what you won't get that. She was like, And I thought, poor Shalina. I know exactly how it is. But behind closed doors, the mum will say to her friends, you know, my daughter, oh, she's on TV. And she'll be very proud of her daughter, but she will never tell her daughter. Yes, my daughter. Yes, she did this and she did that, and she's on the TV. Oh, she's but she will never say it to her. But yeah, I saw the mum, and I could tell the mum thought it was good, right? But Shalina's obviously, that's the one you want the praise from, is your mum. The mum take, and on camera and everything, and I was watching it, I thought, poor Shalina, because that's how my granddad would have been with my mum. That's how my granddad would have been with my mum.
High standards indeed.
Very high.
Do you have favorite comfort food? And guys, what is your favorite comfort food? Do you have a food that you just crave comfort, and by comfort, something very simple to make, or just something, you know, sometimes you just want something that just, makes you feel at home, makes you feel warm, makes you feel comfortable. It could be something very simple like soup. It could be mashed potatoes, one that people always tend to say. But do you have a favorite comfort food that you enjoy?
Yeah, but I don't really like. I do like mash, but I don't cook it that often.
No.
But I do like mash. I do like roast potato. I like potato-based things, I think. Even though I come from a country that favors rice a lot. Rice and noodles. So in Mauritius, your typical dish will consist of rice or noodles. But yeah, I do. If I'm talking about comfort food, it would probably be mash and something. But if you're talking about something that just makes me feel cozy or whatever, or takes me back to my childhood, it would be tea made with carnation milk.
Oh, okay. So for a drink.
Yeah.
See, now mine, I never really had comfort foods when I was younger. People say mashed potato, and I did enjoy mashed potato, but I haven't had it for so long. Weirdly, mine's pizza. That's what makes when I have pizza, I just feel really comfortable. I just think to myself, it's a thought of it, because I only have pizza now at the weekend if we have it. So it reminds you of the weekend. It reminds you of a chill place. It's just something I really enjoy.
Right.
I don't cook it myself. I'll order it. And the reason I order it, I don't cook it myself, is I have tried all different types of supermarkets ones, all from Morrison's, Sainsbury's, M&S, or wide variety. Other ones I just can't remember off the top of my head. And I never, ever, ever, ever get it to how I want it. It's always soggy.
Even with the pizza dough?
Yeah. No. What I mean by that is ready-made ones, even in a plastic wrap, it's always soggy. And I think the reason being, as they say, that the key to pizza is an incredibly high heat for a short period of time.
Yeah.
So and they do say that with pizza, you cannot get your oven hot enough.
Yeah.
And all the recipes I've noticed say turn your oven up to at least 240, or as high as your oven will go. Now, really, with a pizza, you want it up to about 300 to 400 degrees, because you want it incredibly hot. And the ones in Italy, they'll literally bung it into like a 400 to 300, 400 degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit, Celsius, and they'll cook that for about 5 to 7 minutes, very short time. And just as it's starting to burn on the outside, then you pull that pizza out and that is done. But you have to have it at a high temperature. So for me, that's why I prefer ordering it. Not Pizza Hut. Sorry, Pizza Hut. Not a big fan. It has to be one that I, like a proper Italian regular one.
I mean, I used to love Pizza Hut. I don't like it as much as I used to because I feel like it's not as good as it used to be.
Sorry, Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut used to be very, very good back in the day when they actually cared. But it's changed over hands so many times and almost closed down so many times.
No, we're not suggesting you don't care, but
I am.
Do you know what it is for me with places like Pizza Hut, and I will throw in Domino's and places like this, it's what I call the sort of the bog standard American type pizza. So it's thick wet base. It will be obviously pizza sauce. It'll be the cheese. But on top of it, they're so limited. So, their seafood one is just basically canned tuna. Vegetarian one is just peppers. And there's nothing more than that. You've got a choice of pepper, sweet corn, olives,
mushrooms, onions.
And again, and I think what happens is when they put it on, there's a lot of moisture in those. Because they don't cook it on what it does is it then soaks into the bread, so it makes the bread soggy, and that's what I don't like. And then obviously you've got your meats.
Yeah, but I think you're saying that there isn't a lot of choice, and I'm sorry, Pizza Hut do a lot of choice. It's just that for you, there's not seafood pizza. That's the only difference.
No. I would, like I said, if you go to different restaurants, they will have different choices. But there aren't things like, I'm being a bit snobby here, but I do like things like goat cheese. I do like things like artichoke oil, which you don't get in Pizza Hut. But also as well, I do find Pizza Hut pizzas that it just the taste isn't as good.
I mean, you can have it cooked in. I feel like
my opinion though, that's just my opinion.
I feel like with Pizza Hut, they do have, for me anyway, I feel they do have a good choice of toppings and things like that. My bugbear is that they don't care about quality. They don't care about, and and don't get me wrong, they do a lot of deals. If you want if you've got a family and you've got loads of people, Pizza Hut is ideal because they do really good deals.
Yeah, that's true.
They really do good deals. So if you want a takeaway or whatever, Pizza Hut could be top of the list because you think to yourself, oh god, 30 or 35 pounds, but you can get like several pizzas, sides and all of that. And yeah, it's just, I feel it's very good value for money. So if you're with a lot of people, I feel like Pizza Hut's very good value for money. I ordered, I always used to think that Nando's was value for money, and I ordered stuff for my nephews the other day. It came to £50.
Oh my god! Yeah, but no, you should have put Ben and Siobhan. Hello,
hey,
bro, Mingo and Kelly. How are you? You okay? You well?
I hope you are. But the thing with Nando's, you could get a really good meal for £10.
Yeah.
Right now, I was so shocked. But so basically, they each got 15 chicken wings.
Well, there you go. That's your point right there. You should have put a. Anyway.
Hold on. So they each got 15 chicken. Yeah, but you're talking about teenage boys. Oh yeah, you need to put. But imagine how you used to eat when you were 15.
I don't believe their parents would have allowed that.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is it's my mum's fault really. So she called them. Oh yeah, have Nando's, have that. Now with me, I would have been a bit more mindful because I would have thought about money and things like that, and I would have said, right, we can order you pizza. This is the pizza. That's how I would have done it. But to be fair, when they come around, you say, what do you want? No, get them what they want. No, so I don't know what you're talking about. Right. You're like, get them what they want. Get them what they want.
Right.
And so my mum's a little bit. So Mark and my mum, they're very similar. And they'll be like, oh yeah, what do they want? No, ask them what they want. Me, I tell them, no, this is what we're getting. That's what we're getting. This is what we're doing. Because me, I would have already thought about that. But anyway, they turned around and said, oh, one said can I have 10 chicken wings, the other one said, oh, can I have 15 chicken wings? I said, all right then, and I calculated and I was like, £50, oh my god.
Oh, That's interesting. Ben said, "Oh, good, thanks. Hope you guys are good. We're good, thank you, Ben." Siobhan's likes Nando's, so I'm a bit meh. Yeah, I don't eat chicken. So,
Yeah.
Pavnar, hello, angels. Hope you're both
Hey.
well on this beautiful evening. It is
It's
wonderful.
lovely, very
How are
lovely.
you, Pavnar? Are you well? Lovely to see you. What have you been
sorry.
up to? What have you been up to?
I do like Nando's. I really enjoy them. But before, Nando's, I feel was very reasonable. And so when we were doing the order, I just thought, oh, do you know what? Nando's is quite reasonable. Even if it's 30 quid, it'd be all right. Oh, £50. So so one got 10 and the other one got 15. So when I said to the other one, oh, your brother got 15, he goes, 15? He goes, I said 10 because I was trying to be nice. He's ordering 15. I said, so I felt a bit bad. I said, do you want 15 chicken wings as well? He goes, oh, all right then. So they had 30 chicken wings between them, right? And then they had sides. They only had 2 sides each. And I just thought, wow. It did, with the delivery charge as well. I just thought, wow. But even when I've had Nando's in the past, I just feel like the prices, because when I was looking at the prices had gone up quite a bit. Mark shaking his head as if the other day when my nephew didn't come, no, get him what he wants, get him what he wants, no, get him what he wants. And I'm like, no, we're getting this. This is what we can do, this is what. But anyway.
Ben, so do you have Nando's in the United States? Is there a Nando's? Now, I didn't know if it was a British chain. I know it's Portuguese food, but I didn't know if it's a British chain or if you have it in the United States.
I've never seen it over there.
No, I haven't, but I did wonder there might be, just because we haven't seen it. It may be.
Yeah,
I don't
but we've
think
been
so.
to New York and we've been to Florida.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
I've never seen it. In fact, I don't think I've seen it anywhere other than the UK.
And if not, do you have a United States version of a Nando's? Is there one that you go to that's like similar, or there's a lot of questions in one? Is there a place that you would go to as a similar type? I say cheap eats, but obviously not so much. But we were talking about comfort food. Is there like a comfort food restaurant you would go to?
Do you know what? We're talking about cheap eats, but what I'm trying to say is I don't think there's cheap eats anymore.
Oh, I think there is. Well, McDonald's is still cheap.
Yeah, but it's not that cheap.
No, you're never going to get. I mean,
it's not that cheap. If you want a meal and all of that these days, £7.
Well,
if you want a burger, your chips and your drink, it's almost like £7.
Oh, there you are. Yes, there are quite a few over here, and one down the road from us.
Oh wow!
There you go. Bizarrely, to me, it's quite popular. There you are. So there is Nando's.
I've never ever seen a Nando's there.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you know what though? I know I'm vegetarian, so I don't. Well, I say pescatarian, but I don't go for Nando's. But I've got to say, and Nando's, this is just my personal opinion, but their veggie range is awful.
They've expanded it now.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, I had a look on it. But to be fair, I feel that.
Well, you don't go. To be fair, you don't go to Nando's for vegetarian.
For vegetarian,
you go for the chicken.
Well, majority of places you don't go for vegetarian, unless it's an all vegetarian restaurant. But most people cater for vegetarian. Yeah. But there's not that many dishes, whatever restaurant you go to be quite honest. The only places that you've really enjoyed, has been Toby and the Ned in the UK.
Yeah, no, I do enjoy others, but
I'm talking about really enjoy.
Yeah, well,
because they're unlimited. That's why you enjoy it.
But I've got to say, no, I've got to get. I did not like the Nando's vegetarian. I did not as well. It's very. I mean, it's like McDonald's. It's just mush.
Do you know what? I feel like it's a preconceived. You have a preconceived idea, and I do believe if it was unlimited, if Mark had tried it years ago and it was unlimited vegetarian, I can almost 99% guarantee you would have enjoyed it.
No, that's not true because, like I said, I have enjoyed vegetarian options at other restaurants. So Marlowe's, I enjoyed their vegetarian burger. That was nice. That was a very nice burger. And what was that other? There was another place we went to which had a really nice vegetarian thing. Pav said, I've been well, thank you. Just currently recovering from hay fever, which can be exhausting.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet that. I bet
a
there's
lot of people are
I
suffering.
know I've got friends that are just and I know if you're having your hay fever now, that means you're allergic to certain types of pollen.
Yeah,
Having faith in the Almighty is important, as our faith will be tested again and again.
yeah,
Oh, well, I'm so glad you're starting to recover now, and it's really nice to see you as well.
yeah.
You got any nice plans for the weekend? Or has anybody got nice plans for the weekend?
And we have been tested these last 2 years. I think the testing is gonna continue, unfortunately.
But yeah, so I was going to say, I'm just interested with Ben in the United States, because I do find that I just think I was shocked at that Nando's is so popular, but I suppose it's quick.
Do you know what? Chicken in general is very popular, regardless.
Yeah.
So whether it be KFC, whether it be Morley's, whether it be whatever, even in a lot of weddings, you always see chicken as as part of the dish, right? But the thing now, they said it was on the news the other day that now chickens is gonna be a more expensive meat. Now chicken always used to be the cheapest meat, but yeah, it's now going. They were saying that it was going to become expensive. So
you have to go veggie.
even the listen, even when organic vegetables is expensive.
No, I've got to say, vegetarian. I've noticed that now. Vegetarian burger are just the same price as the meat ones.
Yeah.
I've seen that on menus. You go
Yeah.
through down to the veggie, it's about £1 cheaper, but in some cases it's as expensive.
Yeah.
Or even more.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, really.
Cameron said, "Yes, I knew it."
Mm.
Was that about the
chicken
bit
being expensive?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it and now because of there's some type of bird flu. Bless you, darling. Because there's some type of bird flu, they are now having to keep chickens inside, so they can't class it.
Oh, that's right.
As free range.
That's right.
But now they're deciding how are they going to word it so that it's not. They're still free range, but they're just being kept inside because of the sickness.
Ah, so Ben has asked, do you have an Impossible Burger yet? Do they sell them there?
Yes, we do have Impossible Burgers, or they call them other things, Impossible this or Impossible that.
No, Karen said, I knew it, not with that. She goes, you eating the custard. Oh, yeah, I did. You know, Karen, because when I was downstairs, I was eating. I thought, oh, God, I've got the live. I should. I forgot myself.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. I definitely recommend that. In actual fact, that's my recommendation for the week. It's the Gastro M&S Custard Madagascar Vanilla. Do try it. It's absolutely amazing. And as you saw, I had it cold. It's just as good cold as it is hot.
And as you
Chef's
saw,
kiss.
Me, I'm not really a custard person, and even I think it's nice.
There you go.
So I would definitely eat it. I like it when I have it in the, when they do the strawberry tarts and you get that sort of creme anglaise. It's very nice.
I was going. I'm going when I can get some. Oh,
yeah,
good.
definitely get some.
I mean, that's just our recommendation, Kat, but I think you would really enjoy it, and it's one of those things. It is worth the wait to heat it up as well.
Yeah, if you do like warm custard, then yeah. But me personally, I prefer it cold. But my family do like it heated up.
Well, funny enough, actually, as you heat it, it does thin, so it's more pourable.
Yeah. But yeah, I would eat that on cake.
Yeah, if you're like me as well, you can just eat it like it's a yogurt, which I did.
A big pot of yogurt.
Oh, as you saw.
Mm.
Yeah, I was going to say, so Ben, with Washington, just out of interest, Mark, you will have sugar rush now. I don't mind it cold or hot. Do you know what? I have actually. If you can tell, I'm actually back on form. I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm sorry if the energy was a bit low earlier on. It's been such a long day at work. I was so tired when I finished, but actually that has given me the energy boost I need. So maybe I need to eat a pot of custard before I do the live.
Can you imagine?
Oh my God, I'll be £90 when I finish this, or put on £90. Yeah, Ben, talking about the the chickens. Well, what would be what's the most popular restaurant, do you think, where you are?
And Ben, what do you consider a comfort meal?
Yes.
What would you have as a comfort meal? And you just think, oh, do you know what? It's just really comfortable. Do you know the meal that I thought about?
What's that?
That would make shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie. So Karen, as well, we were just talking about what is, and Pavnar, and everybody else. We were just talking about what's your favorite comfort food, the food that makes you just feel comfortable. So I was pizza, you were shepherd's pie. Karen said, Mark, you have sugar rush. Yeah, she said, love cold beans and cold rice pudding. Yeah, do you know, I love cold rice pudding, not cold beans. I can't do cold beans. I don't know why. Just something about the weird. There's just something about it has to be hot for me. But I can do cold rice pudding. And yes, it is a good excuse for me to have custard. Thank you. You've given me the excuse.
No, for me, it has to be hot rice pudding.
Oh no, I don't mind cold rice.
I can't have it cold. Yeah, and I think the reason why I can't have it cold is that when I was at school, it was always hot rice pudding.
Oh, okay, fair enough, fair enough.
Hot rice pudding.
But it's one of those things actually. You can just munge it like that because it comes in little pots, so you can just heat it up and have it. Or in the tin. I have done that myself. I've had a tin of cold rice pudding.
Oh, no.
Oh, there you go. Mine's a nice cottage pie with mashed swede and thick gravy.
Yeah, mine is homemade shepherd's pie. In fact, I haven't made shepherd's pie in ages.
You used to make one for yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, I would make. I've got these little sort of like thing, because obviously you don't eat meat.
No.
But do you know what? That's what I'm going to make myself. I think I'm going to make myself a shepherd's pie.
There you go.
The first time I made shepherd's pie, I didn't realise it needed as much potato. I was so shocked with how much potato you need to make a shepherd's pie. I was so shocked.
Karen said, and that's yes, it's got to be homemade. You put that effort in.
Yeah.
And I noticed that actually when you watch top chefs do it, so someone like Gordon Ramsay or Heston Blumenthal, they really, really, really put the effort in the mashed potato. So they'll blend it with lots of butter, cream, seasoned. But I also noticed as well, they'll really go to the trouble of actually putting it in a piping bag and piping it on.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that.
Love the mash on top. And do you know what? I think mashed potato is a common theme with
I think potatoes.
Oh, so Ben said the most popular, so this is in Washington, the United States, the most popular would be fast food chains, McDonald's, Taco Bell, KFC, etc. Comfort for food. Oh, we would Sunday roast. We didn't think of that. Very good choice.
I don't know if I would have it as comfort food. I love a roast. Love it.
Yeah, you do.
But I don't know. I feel like for me, comfort mean if there's too much going on for it to be comfort food for me. That's like a meal. Do you know what I mean? Like a Sunday roast or whatever.
A meal could be comfort food.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying. I'm talking about for me.
Okay.
So like for me, it would have to be something. Yeah, like, oh, do you know what? I'm going to heat up that shepherd's pie that I made, or you scoop a bit and you heat it up and all of that type of stuff. I feel like with Sunday roast, you have it there and then when you have the leftovers, you fry it into something like bubble and squeak or whatever it is, or you'd eat components of the Sunday meal after the Sunday. Do you know what I mean?
So Karen said, no, mine gets dolloped on the top. So going back to the part about the mashed potato.
Yeah.
So yeah, you dollop it and then use a fork to dread and make peaks. Funny enough, I've noticed that a lot. The technique, obviously, so with the forking technique, is so it crusts.
Yeah.
So you get that crust on it. But yeah, I do notice that. I think, and that's funny enough. I think that's why they pipe it, because when you've got little peaks, those peaks crust.
Yeah.
As well, and that's it. But the ultimate is to put cheese on top of that.
Yeah, you can do, but I'm not.
You don't like it, but I do. I love that mashed potato.
I just feel like I would put cheese on top, but it would have to be something not like a cheddar cheese, because cheddar cheese can be quite strong. So it'd have to be a very mild cheese. I would put a mild cheese on top. Yeah, just not strong cheese.
My old nan taught me. But yeah, I always wondered that. Why do you put this? Of course, it's it obviously forces it to crust.
Yeah, you. For me, I drag the fork through, so you get the lines.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But what scares me is when I do it, when I start to put the mash on top, it sort of sinks a little bit, and all the
juice
gravy comes out the side, and I think, oh no! And then when it bubbles, all the gravy is going to come out the sides.
There is a real skill. So when I used to eat meat, I did have a stab at making it of shepherd's pie.
Yeah.
And I made the big fatal error. I think my sauce was a bit too runny.
Right.
So I started I made loads of mashed potatoes. So the same thing with you. I didn't make that much. And I thought, oh my God, this needs way, way more.
Yeah.
So I had to reboil all the mashed potatoes, mashed it again. But I made them sit. I put it all in the middle, thinking it would just sit on the top, but it didn't. It started to sink, and it moved all the gravy up. So I thought, oh my God, so I'm gonna have to. So I was trying to dig it back and move it round. But yeah, it's very difficult.
But yeah, when I make a single one, it's really nice because then I can just save a bit and then just eat it as and when.
There you go. And that's what I did wrong. No, drain the gravy a bit, then use it after. Use a sieve. That's so use a sieve to drain the gravy, or do you use the sieve obviously to sieve the mashed potatoes through?
No, drain the gravy a bit and
No,
use it
that's why,
after.
because
But use it for what after? Oh, you mean reheat? So when you're having the mash, then you drizzle more gravy on. Is that what you mean?
so Ben's asked, what's the next vlog stroke restaurant review? And
Okay.
Madame will tell you.
Rosa Pomodoro,
which we are way behind on.
Which I have edited half of it. So I've got just a little bit more to add on to it. Yeah, I've done the beginning and the middle, just need to do the end.
So
really.
Ben, you may remember many years ago, you came with me to one of my birthdays at Rosa Pomodoro. So a little ode to that. We went back there, or Kelly and I went back to that on my birthday. So that's why I went to on Rosa Pomodoro. But yeah, so we went back there, really good pizza. So you will see that. So that we've shot it all. We just need to upload it. And the other one we want to do is we're thinking of doing another. So we've done, you'll see we did the ice cream, the milk train ice cream. But what we've decided to do is we want to do one-off video rather than doing multiple videos. Because the milk train didn't do too well. We thought we'll do one video on, quick video on all the ice cream parlors that we go to in London. So there's one called Delicious, which you want to go to. You've seen Milk Train. There's a few more. There's Dirty Ice Cream, which is in Soho, and there's a couple of others we want to try. So we will try and do especially for the summer, we will try and do a ice cream vlog.
Yeah, I also went to the Science Museum, which I mentioned earlier in the vlog. I went to, so my cousin messaged me and she was like, oh, like what you're doing today and stuff like that. I said, I don't really have any plans. I'm meant to edit a video. And I was talking about the Rosa Pomodoro video that I was meant to be editing. And she goes, oh, why don't you come with us to the to Natural History Museum was the first thing. And then she said, oh, then she went to try and get tickets, couldn't get tickets. And then she said, what about the Science Museum? But I couldn't film too much. There were so many school kids sort of like running around and doing their thing. And then we were trying to look after the little one. So I only got to film a little bit. And we only got to do the ground floor. We were there for quite a while because they did a little film as well, which Benedict Cumberbatch narrated. But obviously you can't film in the cinema. And then there was this like curvy thing that we took the little one to, and there was too many kids in there, so I couldn't film in there because there was just too many children. And I don't know what parents would have thought if I just pulled out my camera and started filming. I'm thinking, no.
Well, this is when you always used to get those dodgy DVDs where somebody just obviously they put up a hand camera or just having like that in the cinema, and that you'd hear people laughing if it's a comedy.
Yeah,
in the cinema,
but also in the play area is what I was talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's true.
But I did film the gift shop. But it was more. It would have been more yours and Mark's sort of thing to comment on. It wasn't really. I'm not really that knowledgeable on things that are there.
Yeah.
Like you, your dad's and Mark would have known a bit more background stuff. So it would have been better really if you had been there to be able to talk about certain things. Like it's not really my thing, but also it's not things that I would know about. There was like Spitfire. I assume they were Spitfires because I called them Spitfires, but they were all hanging from the ceiling and everything.
Oh, Richard Harris, hello.
Hey.
Where is your favourite fish and chip bar? I miss British fish and chips. Always look forward to the cod and chips when we visit the UK. They don't taste the same. Oh, so Richard's in the US. I didn't realise you were in the US, Richard.
Yeah, because you do have a channel. I'm sure I checked out your channel. Is it you that has a channel? I'm sure it might be you.
Right. So let's see. So now, actual fact, that's a very good question, actually. Oh, Chicago. Yes, you're right. I remember you saying Chicago. Yeah. So Richard, so when we do the fish and chips, we tend to go to local ones. So of course they're not so much our local ones that we're known here. However, ones that I've tried, the ones that got huge rewards, there's one called Toffs in Muswell Hill, which is in Haringey in North London, which has got very, very good fish and chips. That's one. A really popular one, which I really, really, really do want to try, and again it's had really good reviews, is Poppy's, which is in central London. That's a really good one. And another good one, again, I'm recommended, but we haven't tried yet, is Fortnum and Mason, which is supposed to do a really good fish and chips.
The best place to have fish and chips, regardless, is by the seaside.
Yeah, that is true.
Right? You can forget about all your London ones. The best place is always by the sea. That's where you have your best fish and chips. There was a place that we wanted to try that was recommended. Was it English's?
Yes, that's right. So Kelly and I, you may have seen one of our videos. We went to where was it? Brighton. I forgot the name. We went to Brighton, and we had fish and chips on the pier. And I spoke to we overheard some guys speaking to the concierge in the hotel, and they said, "Where's the best place to go fish and chips?" He said, "Don't go to any of the other places. The best places in Brighton is a place called English's." And English's is right near the coast, right near the seafront. And he said that's the best place to go. So we were going to go there, but I think we just ran out of time. It was our last day.
Yeah. I mean, when you go to Brighton, you have to have fish and chips on the pier anyway. So you can get fish and chips elsewhere and then come onto the pier and eat it on the pier. Or there is a fish and chip place on the pier. It's not the best fish and chips that you will ever have, or by any stretch, but it is all right. It's okay fish and chips.
Yeah.
It is expensive because obviously it's on the pier, but you can have fish and chips there. But yeah, I would like to, when we go down again, English's. I want to try English's.
Well, Ben said Master's Superfish on Waterloo Road.
Oh wow!
I've not tried that.
Okay.
And he said Poppy's is very nice too. So I've not tried either of those. So perhaps that's something we could look at.
That's probably something that we could look at. I think then if we try a couple in London, which would be Master Superfish and Poppy's, and then we go to Brighton and try their one and see how it is there. There was one that we did do years ago, but it was like, God, you're talking about 2015 when we were there.
Richard said thanks, taking notes.
Yeah.
Well, actually, so are we, because we've not been to these ones. These are ones that I've been meaning to go to Poppy's for such a long time, and we just never. Well, when we were in Central London, we've always got other plans to go.
Yeah.
So, of course, once you've had a fish and chip meal, because we like to do obviously food reviews, that's it. Then you're done with. You
can't eat anything else.
You can't eat anything else. So we sort of plan what we're going to do. So we should really try those as well. So thanks, Ben. That's a really good Master Superfish on Waterloo Road and Poppy's.
And Mark has to eat half of mine anyway.
Oh, and fish. What's that? Fishkotek. In Water. Fishkotek. I haven't heard of that.
Oh, Fishkotek, as in discotheque.
Yeah, Fishkotek in Waterloo. Thank you, Ben. That's another one.
Look.
So do try. So I know there's a lot of Irish bars in Chicago, and I know there are British pub type things there. Funny name. It is funny name. Are there any of those that sell fish and chips, or are they just not to standard? That's just out of interest.
Well, because we went to when we were at the Cheesecake Factory, I heard somebody ordering fish and chips.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was a family, and one of the young boys wanted fish and chips. But I think fish and chips in the States is becoming quite popular.
Yeah.
They did do so when they went to, there was a place that was doing fish and chips. I really love watching the people that go to Disney quite a lot, and there was one place that was doing fish and chips, and when they were doing it, and I said, yeah, but I bet you the better one is at the UK Pavilion outside. And after he had the fish and chips, I think it was a special on somewhere, and he said no, the best fish and chips is at the UK Pavilion in Florida.
Oh, okay. So
of that area, that is not in the States, but just of that area.
So Richard said fish and chips on Fridays in bars. Okay, and what's the quality like? Ben has actually said, so Ben's in Washington. Ben said Chicago has an amazing Nutella restaurant.
Oh, that'd be right up your street.
Oh, when you say Nutella, so everything Nutella, I'm thinking crepes with Nutella. I'm thinking waffles with Nutella. Would they do mains with Nutella, or is it literally just desserts? That does sound amazing if you have that with Nutella. I was looking actually at Ben, the Star Wars book you got me, the baking book. These cookies, so that's actually the TIE Fighter ice cream sandwiches. You use Nutella in the recipe, so you'd add Nutella to bake the cookies, and that gives it the nutty flavour. So if you were to do it, they say hazelnut spread, but you know what they mean. Chocolate hazelnut spread.
Exactly. But yeah, I I mean, I really do enjoy fish and chips. And even then, sometimes when my mum goes out to restaurants, she will order fish and chips sometimes. She will order fish and chips. I have to be, if I was going to a restaurant, I would have to be in the mood because I know the chips are not going to be on point.
Absolutely. Do you know what? I'm just the same. If it's a regular restaurant and it's on one of the choices, I think myself, I want something specialized because I'm always skeptical. It's going to be that good?
Do you know what? Don't get me wrong. The fish is normally quite good because they will do it in a nice batter.
Yeah.
But it's the chips, and I feel like they're not going to have the right. They're not going to have the right vinegar. They're not going to have the right salt and all of that type of stuff. So I don't normally. I have to be in the mood to order fish and chips. But whenever you order fish and chips, it's always a large portion wherever you go. I've never seen small fish and chips in a restaurant.
Ben said, do you need any more graham crackers? Well, funny enough, I've still got the ones you've got me, so I used a lot of them for the cheesecake recipe, but I'm not gonna make another cheesecake for a while. I may
not a baked one anyway.
No, not a baked one because you didn't like it.
I don't like baked.
I ended up I ate half of it, but it was such a ginormous cheesecake. I ended up having to give most of it away. I just couldn't eat it all. But I will. There might be a couple of other things, Ben, if you don't mind. At some point, I will let you know. But I was looking through here, the book you gave me, and I was just trying to see if there's a couple of bits here I don't think I can get in the UK. But if that's okay, I shall let you know.
I would like to request something. The facial wipe pads that Siobhan got me from thing. I
will put money in your account.
Yeah, there's just you just can't get them here anymore.
No.
There used to be Buff Puffs here, and I used to buy them all the time, and then they got rid of the Buff Puffs, so you can't get them anymore.
I just wanted to do crackers. I didn't want to do anything else.
Just saying, like that's my little request. But yeah, they didn't have they don't have them here anymore, and it's really, really annoying. And I remember they had them at 3M, and I bought so many of them, but of course eventually they go.
Yeah, they do.
And then I can only ever get them when I'm in the US, and of course we haven't been for the last couple of years to the US.
Richard asks, that's a very good question. What is your favorite American food in the USA?
Ambrosia.
Really?
Yeah, love it. I'm gonna make it. I looked up a recipe on how to make it.
Blimey, that was quick. So I've got to say, actually, Richard. So we've only gone. We stopped at Chicago briefly and then moved on. Richard went, "Lol." I didn't even expect that's right out of the blue. But I've got to say, my favourite actually is the shrimp. So anything with the shrimp in the US, and I've got to say the quality seems better than it is here. So anything deep fried shrimp, coconutted shrimp, breaded shrimp, really do enjoy that in the UK. Don't know why in the US. Don't know why, but I really do go for those sort of meals. If I do go to a restaurant, I will look for the shrimp and I will target that. That's my favourite thing in the US to eat.
If I can find good fried chicken.
And so Richard, question for you: what's the thing you miss most about the UK food wise? Is it the fish and chips, or is it something else you miss?
Yeah. I mean, what UK fare did you have when you were here, when you visited? Because I think fish and chips.
And same question for Ben as well, because he's in Washington.
Yeah.
What is it? What meal or food do you most miss from the UK? If somebody said, do you know what, I'm going to set up a little shop near you and I'll sell the food you like, what would it be? What would you get them to make?
And what is your favorite food in the States?
Yes, for both of you.
Yeah.
What is it, if you were to come back to the UK, would you miss about the US food-wise? So what's your favourite thing you miss from the UK and the favourite thing you miss from the US? Richard said Greggs.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
I did not expect that.
No, I wasn't expecting that at all. But you know what? Actually, pasties in the UK, Buffalo Wings USA. I'll tell you something, Richard. I don't know how familiar you are with London. But Greggs for many years didn't have any stores in central London at all because they said the rent is so high and obviously their produce is very cheap. Your wife loves Greggs too, so their produce is very cheap to sell. They just didn't make the overheads. But now in Leicester Square, that's right, Leicester Square in central London, they are opening a Greggs.
Yeah.
Charlie, hello again.
Hey, Charlie.
I've been watching. I told you, Charlie. I've been watching your Central Park in Scunthorpe videos. Very good, and I love that fountain. You look like you had a beautiful day today, actually. How Richard is bang on. Can't argue with that. Oh, so you go Greg's
Greg's
as well?
as well.
Wow.
I am shocked.
Wow, 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 wow.
I
wow,
like
wow,
Greg's.
wow,
I don't
wow,
mind
wow,
it,
wow,
but
wow.
I've got to say I like the vegan sausage roll more than I like the actual sausage roll.
Do you know what? I haven't tried the actual sausage roll,
Yeah.
but I do like the vegan. I didn't like it to begin with.
Yeah, I enjoyed the vegan sausage roll more. I think we've got a Greg's video up anyway. But where we tried loads of different things, and
Richard said thanks, Ben and Siobhan. God, I can't believe both of you did that. Sorry, I was just going to say, so to interrupt you, but I was going to say that really shocks me that of all the food you miss, you guys both meet Greg's. But like I said, to show how popular it is, and again, I don't know, Ben, you might remember your time in London, but it's where the old McDonald's used to be in Leicester Square, right on the corner. That will now be, believe it or not, a Greg's.
The same side as the Lego store.
Yeah,
I believe.
yeah. It will be a Greg's.
So opposite the M&M's store. But yeah, I remember they were in central London, but they weren't in a place like Covent Garden. But there was always one in Old Street.
Was there?
Yeah. There was always a Greg's in Old Street. There was always a Greg's in Leather Lane.
Are you sure? Because I remember, because I read an article.
Worked in Leather Lane for years. Yes.
And then the thing is, the reason why I say that is because I read an article and they interviewed the chief executive from Greg's, and they said, "Why do you not have central London stores?" And he said the rents are so high.
Yeah.
It's just not feasible because our produce is like we sell most items for £1.50 max. So he said the reason why we're so successful is because through the recession, lockdown, all of this, we were selling like you wouldn't believe. And especially, when people have gone through hard times, he said our produce is really good value.
I went to Florida in
Greg's.
Greg's. I went to Florida in '97, my first time, and there was a Greg's in Leather Lane then.
Oh really?
Yeah.
No, I don't
No.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there was always a Greg's there. But if you're talking about the centre of London, as in Covent Garden, no, there's never been one.
Maybe you meant
but
that.
there has always been one in Leather Lane, and I don't know about Old Street, but I know in early 2000 there was a Greg's in Old Street. It was one of the few places because on the way to so when I worked but that was in the opposite direction. Yeah, I don't know about King's Cross, but definitely Leather Lane and Old Street.
Oh wow! So Richard said Chinatown in London, the crispy duck was a highlight for us. Last time we visited too. Better than Chicago Chinatown. Really?
I don't know about Chicago Chinatown because I've not been there.
No, we've not been to Chicago.
And I've only walked through Chinatown in New York. We never ate there, so I don't know where the good fare is. There is a restaurant that we did discover called London Orient, and that was really good Chinese.
Karen said, have I missed anything? You missed a slight thing, Karen. So both Richard and Ben are living in the United States. So we asked them the question, what is the thing that you miss most from the UK food-wise? And both of them, which Kelly and I were shocked about, responded Greg's the baker. So we were, don't get me wrong, Greg's is fantastic value for money.
Really good value for money.
You'll see, we actually did a review of Greg's,
yeah, we did
on one of our videos. So do check that one out. Did you upload the second one?
I don't think I uploaded the
second
one.
The second one.
But the first one's on there.
Yeah. Ben said, yes, Karen, Mark had another 3 pots of custard. Yeah, you missed that bit. I'm now having a sugar comatose. Yeah, that's a shock to me.
Yeah. I mean,
what, the custard or the Greg's or the both?
I like Greg's. I used to get their sausage rolls and their steak bakes all the time, but I find their steak bakes a little bit too salty now. But I do like their vegan sausage roll, and I really like their chicken bake. And my nephews really love. There's a baked bean one, a baked bean and.
Oh yeah, there is a baked bean one. Yeah.
My nephew really likes one nephew. I think likes the steak bacon, and the other one likes the baked bean one. So much so that they even get it in Iceland and then make it at home.
Charlie said, "I'm downing my McDonald's." What you have? Do you mean you're downloading a video, or you actually eating your McDonald's?
Wow.
What are you having, Charlie?
What are you having in McDonald's? What is the favorite in McDonald's? What's your favorite?
And do you like Greg's? because that seems to be. I'm just shocked. I'm sorry, guys. That just really shocked me that you went for Greggs. But you know, with that said, Richard and Ben, do you not have like a pastry type shop like that in the States? So something that does small pastries, pies, something like that, you similar to Greggs in the United States? I'm guessing no, because you guys miss Greggs, but I'm just wondering if there's something similar that you could get there.
I haven't tasted, like, there's only certain things that I eat in the States that I actually like dessert wise. One is peach cobbler. Really like peach cobbler. But there hasn't been a cake yet that I've eaten in the States and I really like it. Like, I think, oh god, yeah, I can't wait to go back and have that cake. But I do like, where did we go? Peach cobbler was one. And I'm just trying to think what we have in restaurants normally.
Oh, Karen said my favorite is the Big Mac from McDonald's, but I haven't had one for ages. My God, that surprises me.
They've got Grand Mac now.
Yeah, I was going to say
Grand Mac.
4 patties.
No. Just a Grand Mac as in the burger's wider.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought they did one with 4 patties.
They did, but that was a limited thing.
Right.
It's not there at the moment.
Oh, not like the Greggs flavour, said Richard. Wow. Love McDonald's apple pies. Oh, Kelly loves the McDonald's apple pies.
When they used to do apple pie ice cream and I used to get caramel on top of that, that was so good. And my cousin went to McDonald's the other day and we had apple pie and I had ice cream in the freezer. But what did we have it with? We didn't have it with ice cream, actually. We did. I think we might have had it with the pineapple ice cream or something, maybe. And then we just put, I had some carnation caramel in the fridge. And my cousin was like, "Oh, I've never tried that before," and so that's what we had as a replica, if you like. But yeah, I enjoy McDonald's still. I used to like, but they only bring that back every now and again. The McTasty, I do like the McTasty.
They burn your mouth. Can never wait for them to cool down.
Yeah. But they don't do like really hot ones now. I've not had a really hot apple pie. I think that probably might have been a problem at some point, which is why. But they sometimes they do a fruit pie, and I really enjoy it when they do a fruit pie. They did a cherry pie one time. They did a peach one time, and then they did one which was like a mince pie, which had custard in it, and that was so good.
So Ben said, have you tried a Dairy Queen Blizzard? It's a bit like a McFlurry, but much better.
No.
They're proper lush.
Oh no, maybe
I've not tried those.
Maybe that's directed at Richard. We haven't tried that.
No, we haven't tried that one.
Because we haven't been to a place where there's been a Dairy Queen.
No, not at all. Charlie, well done. 220 followers.
Wow,
You're really rising now, actually, because you were on 157 not so long ago. Richard said the fried apple pie from McDee's is no longer available here. Oh, fried apple pie.
Oh, really?
Yes, I've had one of the mince pie McDonald's pies.
Yeah, so good. Yeah. I enjoyed that. But Eat used to do. They've gone into administration now, and I feel so sorry.
Oh yeah.
They used to do a mince pie bar. Oh, whenever they had that, oh my god, that's so delicious. And they also used to do pigs in blanket. Really enjoyed that. And they used to do pigs in blanket in a roll. Enjoyed that.
All right, Carol said, these food's making me hungry now. Well, do you know what? Actually, we have been going for over 2 hours. 2 hours, wow. So I think we will let you go eat, enjoy, and I think we will leave it there. But guys, thank you so much for all your contributions to today's live. I loved it. I loved all the actual or the food talk as well. It's been brilliant. Charlie said in Lakeside in Scunthorpe was coming soon with a Costa. All right, we'll have a look at that if you're going to video it. Mince pie seem weird to Americans. Do you know what, Richard? I have actually seen, I do like reaction videos on YouTube, and I have seen Americans try mince pies. So they get British people to fly them over. And it's honestly, it's very mixed, the reaction. Some really like it.
Yeah.
Some are like, what is this?
But I think some people feel it might be filled with meat, but it's not filled with meat.
Mince meat obviously has two meanings in the UK.
Yeah.
But not to Americans. Mince meat is literally meat.
Yeah. But there's no meat in a mince pie.
No dead animal.
Yeah, it's just mince pie. It's like berries and sultanas. I don't know what.
Oh yeah, suet and a few other spices. Karen said, well, I'm off to stuff my face. You enjoy.
Don't blame you, because I'm about to do the same thing, because I'm feeling quite hungry.
Nighty night all, and nighty night to you all. Thank you so much for joining us. That's it for Mark and Kelly's Trip, Tips and Things for this week, but we will be back Tuesday at 6 p.m. for our usual live. We will see you then. Guys, have a fantastic weekend. Look after yourselves, and remember, it's Memorial Weekend. Enjoy.
Oh, wow.
I hope you have a good weekend, and enjoy whatever you guys do. Hopefully we'll see you back for more chat about things. Yeah, love to you all as well.
Love you too.
Take care, and we will see you on Tuesday. Toodle pip, as Ben says. Have a great weekend, guys. Take care. We will see you Tuesday. Look after yourself, and remember, you are never too old to have fun. Bye for now.
Bye for now.